All right. That's right. Hello. Welcome everybody to the first stream in like 2 weeks. The last time that I streamed, we were playing Mario 2, the Famicom Disk System game, and I think that was after I had some things to say about all the Mario stuff that was going on. But now it's over 2 weeks later. I haven't streamed for a while because a couple things happened. And the first like big thing, we were starting on a little bit of a sadder note, but it's fine. Everything got better. Everything turned out fine in the end. But the thing that made me just without saying anything, without warning anybody, just out of nowhere, I disappeared for several days. What happened was Magic got extremely sick, deathly ill. We noticed that I don't want to give, I don't really want to give a lot of details about it because honestly, I don't want to hear people's opinions on like what it could be, how I should have handled it, how long do you think he has to live now, based on the symptoms that I say it's probably this, and he you know what I mean? I don't want to get into that kind of stuff. I don't care what people say about that, and so I don't want to. So I'm gonna be vague about Magic here. He got deathly ill, to the point where I was having to feed him, me and Mrs. Dash. He had to have a feeding tube put into his nose and down into his stomach, because he would not eat, could not eat, and so we had to buy a bunch of liquid food for him, and get this feeding tube into his nose and into his stomach, and we had to feed him liquid food in down this tube like 5 times a day, and each feeding took a while, and it was we had to feed him 5 times a day doing that, and then also keeping up on everything else. We had to give him like an appetite stimulant. I had to put a pill in his throat to reduce nausea. Keeping up on his insulin, of course, because he's diabetic. I had to start getting glucose readings from him now, too, which I didn't do before. Before, I would just take him to the vet every once in a while. Private Point Blank, thank you for subscribing. Before, I would just take him to the vet, regularly enough for them to get updated readings on him, and then they would advise what our insulin dosage should be. But now I'm having to get glucose readings from him myself, which is a huge pain. All that is going on, and so Mia, what you got? No, you can't chew on the cable. So that's why I disappeared, right? Because we were dealing with that. And the thing was, so it wasn't just we had to feed him 5 times a day. It was also like I had to supervise him constantly, right? We couldn't keep our eyes off of him, really, because, what if he throws up? What if he wants to go, up or down the stairs? Is he doing okay? Mrs. Dash, thank you. Thank you for the 84 months, and then Archangel Ajora, straight out of Final Fantasy. And the Final Fantasy Tactics fan, you got the Tactics fanfare and everything. How about that? That's true, Crucial. Yeah, we're talking about Magic the Cat right now. It was like, what if he throws up? Is he able to get up and down the stairs safely? Is he gonna try to poop or pee on the carpet? We needed like constant supervision, right? And it was just like really difficult. So that's why I disappeared, is because we were like constantly treating our cat. Then, in the middle of all of that happening, our baby's due date came and went, and baby did not happen before the due date, didn't happen on the due date. So after the day after the due date, we had a follow-up ultrasound to make sure everything's looking okay in there, and everything was looking okay. And they said, all right, if you don't have this baby, what was the timing? Was it like I feel like it was 5 days, 5 or 6 days after the due date. They were gonna take us in to induce labor because it's medically recommended not to go too far past your due date because the chance of a stillbirth goes greatly higher, right? So they gave us a date at that ultrasound. They said, if no baby by this time, come in for induction. But in the meantime, also, a couple days later, we've got another ultrasound just to continue to monitor, baby, right? And then, start charging her rent. So what happened then, though, was 3 days later, we went to the second ultrasound, and on that ultrasound, they took a look. Evali, thank you for the 4 months. On the follow-up ultrasound, they were looking, they said, oh, yeah, things are looking good, happy, healthy. However, her fluid is getting low. And then, the doctor came in and we said, oh, we've got this day, 3-4 days from now scheduled for induction. And the doctor said, with the fluid at its level, we are sending you to induction right now. We would like you to go to the hospital right now to begin the process of getting this baby out because the fluid was low. So that was surprising. Not that surprising, but it was a little surprising because it was in the middle of the workday for me. What I was actually doing that day was I was at an office. Oh man, I had a whole thing. Okay, so during that workday that day, right now my big project at work is that we've got all of these remote offices that we're updating the network gear at. Fully, right? Every one of these offices is getting a full network refresh, new router, new switch, new APs, and I'm redesigning the VPN solution for them also. Or actually, I'm introducing a VPN solution before they were using MPLS, and so I wanted to get this one. I do network engineering for my job, and so with my big project, it was like I wanted to get this one office done before baby happened, right? And it was this day that I was doing the cutover, where I was on site. I was at that office. I had all my tools laid out. I had just gotten done racking the final switch and was getting it powered up, and that's when it was like, oh shit, time to go to that ultrasound appointment. And then we go to the ultrasound appointment and they're like, you need to go to the hospital right now. So I had to call one of my teammates and he had to go to the office and do the rest of the install for me. But, main's done. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you. Oh, YouTube chat! Bro! I haven't had YouTube chat up this entire time. I forgot how to stream. Hello, YouTube also. Welcome in, everybody. Hello. How's it going? Sorry about that. Oh, and now my combined chat loader isn't working again. Oh my gosh, dude. Okay, hang on a second. I gotta go in here. I gotta go in here. And then I think I'm supposed to delete this folder. And then that'll make it so that now when I click this, it will like re-initialize everything. No, it's just not loading. All right, so now what we do is we close the bot, wait a couple seconds, reopen the bot. So now this chat isn't going to work for a minute because the bot is closed. Cuz your guys' combined chat here is different from my combined chat. Okay, so now that should be working again. Open up my combined chat. Oh, and it looks like it's working. I think it's working. All right, it looks like it's working. Okay, excellent. We're back, baby. Okay, what was I talking about? My work mate had to yeah, there it goes. Had to go, like, luckily with our with how change records work and stuff, with networking, my entire change was written bullet point by bullet point exactly how to do it, right? So pretty easy for someone else to just jump in and take over, and especially because I was able to support remotely from the hospital. Anyway, so that meant that Thursday evening, we went into the hospital for induction, and I don't know how many details Mrs. Dash wants me to be able to give about this kind of stuff, because basically all of the like step-by-step here's what happened for the next like 48 hours are all things that were happening within Mrs. Dash's body. So let's just let's go pretty quickly over it and just say that it took we were in the we got into the hospital Thursday evening, and our daughter was born Saturday morning. So it was about 36 hours from getting to the hospital to Baby Dash being born, and Mrs. Dash did amazingly, by the way. Like, I couldn't believe it, dude. Like, sitting there, oh, hang on a second. Okay, it looks like the combined chat is now giving me only YouTube. Why is my combined chat only giving me YouTube? Does that mean that my bot is not connected to Twitch? Oh geez, I don't know what the hell's going on, dude. But okay. Mainstun, thank you for subscribing yourself. Thank you. Slime, how's everybody doing? Welcome on in. Hello. How much did I cry? Okay, so I absolutely cried when she was born. And the big reason is because I just watched my wife go through like the most physically painful thing that humans go through, Like, for like I said, it was 36 hours from us entering the hospital to the baby being born, and a good amount of the chunk of that was like was her having like extreme contractions. And then like eventually once we got to like the active labor part, then the active labor part was like her having to do the the pushing, the contractions, the pushing, and all that kind of stuff. And it was nuts, like, just having to watch her be in that much pain was very difficult, and then yeah, once she did like the final push, right? And then I saw the doctor holding the baby, and I heard the baby cry, right? And I was able to and I was able to tell her, Satan Michael, thank you for subscribing, thank you. And I was able to tell her, you did it, right? She's here, you did it. you're all done, right? Of course I was crying at that point. You know what I mean? Like how could you not? Cuz it's like A, she's done, she did it, and then B, uh baby. I have a baby now. So yeah, of course. And it was crazy. Uh Midner, thank you for subscribing. We had a girl. She's a girl. She's a girl. And then the other thing about it. So first of all, that moment of relief was a big cry point, right? But then also it's like, okay, so they cut the cord and they immediately handed her to Mrs. Dash, right? So then Mrs. Dash, done with everything that she was just doing, now holding the baby on her chest, and the baby immediately, like, I held out, like, Mrs. Dash is holding her, right? And she's just like rubbing up on Mrs. Dash, but then like turned her head to me, and I held out my finger, and little baby just grabbed onto my finger and was just holding it tight. And I was like, dude, how can a 1 minute old baby like grab onto this, right? And eye contact. I did not realize that babies, like, look, I don't know much about human babies, right? I did not realize that human babies have their eyes open first minute of being out, because it was like baby on Mrs. Dash, nuzzled up, but holding on to my finger and making eye contact with me the whole time. So I'm just sitting there looking at baby's eyes with her grabbed onto me and Mrs. Dash having her whole like, oh man, it was that was something else, right? That was a life experience, I tell you. That was a moment that I'll never forget. And basically every time, like, when I think about my daughter now for the rest of my life, it's gonna be like I'm gonna think about that moment. Crazy, dude. So yeah. So the baby was born. The doctors and all that, they checked her out, right? They gave her all the regular checks. There were a couple parts that there were a couple things, nothing overly complicated, but a couple of things made it so that normally you stay in the hospital for 24 hours, but we could have stayed for up to 48 hours. We stayed for 36, right in the middle. We stayed in the hospital for 36 hours after we had the baby. And it was great. All the doctors were great. Every nurse we dealt with was great. That was really just them teaching us things like, I mean, honestly, like the nurses telling us, like, here's how you swaddle her, here's how you change a diaper, here's how you should burp her, like all of the things, like these are the correct postures to hold her in. So, give her good neck support. This is where you should pat her, right? All that kind of stuff, right? And yeah. 24 hours seems really short. Yeah, I was talking to my grandma. My grandma said that after she had a baby, they stayed in the hospital for 5 days. So, and I was like, damn, dude, we were up to 2 days. How much was the bill? Look, I don't want to brag or anything, but I've got my job has really good insurance. My job has very good insurance. So here's the deal. The estimate for us having a baby, and like the standard protocol was $0. However, we did stay a little bit extra long, but still not as long as I heard that the insurance is. Like, I think the idea was that insurance was supposed to cover 48 hours, and we stayed for 36. So like that part of it, I feel like is good. But there was some things, like there were like a couple extra things that we needed, and so I'm not sure if it's going to be $0 in the end. But yeah. Um, so all that said, America's Crazy, you live in Japan. Your wife stayed for 7 days so she could take classes and such, and it was less than 3,000 USD overall. Yeah, it's like a 7 day stay is kind of crazy. Here's the thing though, is like after 36 hours, I wanted to go home. I wanted to get out of there, you know? Like, being in that one room all day, let the, and like, um, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, like the hospital food plus like hospital bed and hospital shower, right? We were ready to go home, dude. The first day that we went home and I got to lay in my own bed again was like, oh man. So after after 36 hours, or it's hard to imagine staying there for longer. But then again, though, I mean, I totally get it though, where it's like, I mean, think about it. If we had a 7 day hospital stay, we would still be there. I would still be in the hospital right now. Um, but yeah, and there were lessons and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. The nurses taught us quite a bit when we were there, and then I mean. The thing is that both of my parents are retired. So, oh, combined chat is working. Combined chat just started working. All right, nice. Okay, good. I don't have to sit here with two chat windows up anymore. Um, okay, awesome. But yeah. So I am somewhere in between right now of like, yes, there is like a what do you call it? A contentness, not contentness, like a feeling of safety of being in the hospital where like if something goes wrong, we're in the best place for something to go wrong, you know? That it would be nice to have be longer than that, but I don't know. Hey, look, it's a busy hospital. There's a lot of babies being born. The hospital she was born at is kind of, from what I gather, is kind of known as the baby hospital. If you are in the Minneapolis area of Minnesota, right, this is like the hospital where you have your baby at, and so it was busy. It was crazy too because the room we were in was super quiet, very quiet room. But I guess they were just really well sound insulated because I would open the door to get coffee and it was fucking popping out there, with like nurses running back and forth and things beeping and babies crying and stuff. So yeah. How is our sleep pattern for now? It's so Mrs. Dash and I will probably have a different answer. Like Mrs. Dash is generally the nighttime theater. So usually like I'll go to bed at 11 to midnight like usual, and then I'll get up at like 9. And during that time, baby generally needs to get fed at around 4 a.m., 4:30 or something like that. And Mrs. Dash is the one who's taking care of that one. So my sleep hasn't changed that much, except for the fact that it's easier for me to get up in the morning now. Like when I have a day off, usually the first time that I wake up is going to be at like 8 a.m. I go back to sleep, then it's 9 a.m., and then I'll go back to sleep. Now it's 10, right? And at that point I'll get up. Now I'm getting up at 9 instead of that extra sleep till 10, So there's that, I suppose. Again, Mrs. Dash might have something else to say, but for me, my sleep has kind of improved because it's like having a baby and being on the baby's schedule is kind of it's encouraging me to go to sleep earlier and it's encouraging me to wake up earlier. Uh, but yeah. Baby requests 2 to 3 while I'm sleeping, not 1. Yeah. But the 1 is at 4 a.m. And then like the other one is in the morning, right? Like we're talking like 7 a.m. probably. Uh, but yeah. Anyway, uh, so that's how that's been going. So yeah, day to day, what's been going on day to day? We've been um we've been feeding the baby, right? On mostly on a schedule. The thing is, dude, this baby eats. Like when she was first born, they had to tell us like it's okay that it's okay that that it doesn't seem like she's eaten a lot because her stomach is only the size of a cherry or something, right? Well, boy, that only lasted 1 day. This baby is this baby's eating like 90 milliliters of food per feeding now. It's crazy. And bro, she gets the hiccups every time. She needs to learn to pace herself. Every bottle we give this baby, she fucking chugs it and then gets the hiccups every time. So that's pretty funny. But yeah. So it's been a lot of feed the baby, make sure she's content, and then in the meantime I've been playing a lot of Steam Deck, cuz dude, the Steam Deck is so awesome. I can just put it to sleep. Every time that I need to do any little thing, something with the cats, fetch a bottle, get a put some formula together or whatever, go grab a swaddle, re-swaddle the baby, like any little thing that I need to do at a moment's notice all the time, you can just sleep the Steam Deck. It's so great. And then also the Steam Deck itself is pretty good for holding baby, right? So what I've been doing is I've been sometimes holding baby, sometimes not, and I've been playing Dead Space, dude. Dead Space from 2008. I had never played through it for some reason. I started it when it first came out, and I remember it being really good, but for some reason I didn't continue it. You know what it was? There was this girl I dated for like 2 days, and she wanted me to play it, so I played her copy of it on Xbox 360 for like 2 days, and then that ended, and I think that's why I didn't play through the rest of it. But I remember it being awesome, and then I never went back to it, until finally I'm getting back to it now. Dude, that game is awesome. It's so good. It's blowing my mind. So yeah, loving it. And then Slay the Spire 2 is the other big one. I've been playing a lot of Slay the Spire 2, which is the touchscreen controls are really nice on that on Steam Deck. Yeah, it's pretty great. Small screen must make the graphics look nice. It is a 720p screen, or 800p technically. But here's the funny thing that I found out about Dead Space. As far as the graphics go, is the game looks twice as good if you turn anti-aliasing off. For some reason, on the PC version, maybe it's only if you're in 720p resolution, maybe it looks better in 1080 or something, but on the Steam Deck, it's 1280 by 800, and the anti-aliasing looks really bad. And if you turn it off, then the game looks super good. So that's funny. But yeah. You bought Slay 2 yesterday? Oh, it's so good. I just finished Ascension. I think I just finished Ascension 4 with every character, and I just did Ascension 5 with the Ironclad. So Ascension 5 with Silent is my next run to do. Does it play most good games from pre-2020? The Steam Deck, yes. I would say pre-2020 it plays everything basically perfectly, I think. And a big part of the reason for that is the fact that the resolution is only 1280 by 800, you know? So like it's not having to do 4K on a handheld. So yeah, it runs things really well. I am loving it for like PS3, Xbox 360 era games, you know? Like I played Alan Wake on it. I'm playing Dead Space on it now. Stuff like that, I think, ooh, it's so good for. But then also like I played through The Witness on it. Baldur's Gate 3, I'm not sure. I haven't tried that one. But I mean, I have tried some newer stuff. Like I remember it playing Path of Exile 2 pretty well, I think. But it did not play Expedition 33 very well. Expedition 33, I had to play at like 50% render or something, and it looked pretty bad. But you know, that's Unreal 5 engine though, and you know how that goes. Midna, almost done with Demon Souls. You have so many games on deck to play, but you kind of want to play Hollow Knight again. My life is like a constant struggle of all of the games that I want to play again. It's like every single game I've ever played, if you ask me about it, I'll be like, yeah, I've been thinking about playing that one again. But what I'll say, Midner, is you absolutely should prioritize Expedition 33. That game is it is a must play. You'll love it. One of the strongest memories you have when you had your son was playing Knit Underground on your Vita in bed with your son sleeping next to you. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That was me. That was me yesterday, you know? Baby sleeping in my arms and I'm just sitting there playing Dead Space. Oh, it was great. And yeah, dude, that's been one of the things about the baby so far. Like, look, I'll get back into some other hobbies later. Like right now I'm streaming. But it's like just holding her like is an activity, you know? Because sometimes it's like I'll feed her and now it's like, okay, time to put her back to her bassinet for her to sleep, right? Except her eyes are open. So like if her eyes are open, then I want to just be holding her because she's looking at me, right? So then I just hold her with her eyes open and she's just sitting there looking at me and I'm looking at her and we'll just sit there for like 2 hours, you know? Just hanging, just chilling. And then once she falls asleep, well then it's like, dude, she's so cute sleeping. And she's sleeping on me. So it's like, I don't really want to go put her in the bassinet. She's sleeping on me. So then I just sit there just hanging out like that for 2 more hours. And now it's time to feed her again. So there's been quite a bit of that going on as well. But yeah, so Dead Space and Slay the Spire 2 have been my 2 big games that I've been playing the last few days. I really want to play Pragmata. That game looks awesome. Like, I've seen some of the gameplay. Man, it looks cool and fun. And then Vampire Crawlers came out today, which I actually want to try that. I kind of want to play Vampire Crawlers on stream today. If you guys are interested in seeing that. It is the new game by the Vampire Survivors dev. And it's a successor to Vampire Survivors, but a different genre, and it looks really fun. And then you want to play Alan Wake 2 and RE9? Me too. Alan Wake 2, I don't think I'm ever gonna get to because it's exclusive to Epic Store. And look, I am one of those people where it's like, here's the deal. Here's the deal about Alan Wake 2. Here's the deal about Epic Store. Is it really such an inconvenience to download Epic Game Store Launcher? No, it's not that big of an inconvenience, but it is enough of an inconvenience that it is easier for me to play any one of the other 5,000 games that I'm interested in playing. You know what I mean? Like, I've got so many games that I want to play right now that if I need to download a different launcher for one of them, it's never going to happen, you know? And so I'm probably never going to play Alan Wake 2 for that reason. Also, I tried Alan Wake 1. I I really liked Alan Wake 1 for about 4 hours, and then I was insanely bored of it. It's just the same thing over and over again. That game's gameplay loop is so repetitive. And like it's not only just it's not just repetitive in the sense that all you do is run through a forest and shoot shadows. It's also repetitive in the sense that they keep on taking your guns and flashlight away and then giving you the same guns and flashlight back. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, now we're back to the flashlight and pistol. So okay, first we're gonna find the better flashlight, then we're gonna find the shotgun, then we're gonna find the rifle, then we're gonna find the better flashlight. Oh, now everything's taken away and we're back to the regular flashlight and pistol again, and then we're gonna find the shotgun, and then we're gonna find the better flashlight and find the rifle. And it's just over and over. It's the same progression loop every time. So yeah, so I got bored of Alan Wake. I didn't finish it. And so that put a little bit of a damper on my interest in Alan Wake 2. However, as far as Remedy Games go though, the developer, they do have that other game coming out. Control what was it called? Control Resonant or something? Control Resonant. The trailer for Control Resonant looked fucking awesome. And so I think I should play through Control to see if I'm interested in Control Resonant. So I'll get to that at some point. Windrose. Yeah, I've been watching a little bit of Windrose. That looks really fun. Diablo 4, dude, every time, like I've gone through this mental loop a bunch of times where I think about playing Diablo 4. I'm sure Diablo 4 is fun, and I think like, yeah, I should buy that and just play through it real quick. However, then I remember that the game is $60 and they want me to buy the battle pass, and I'm just like, oh right, fuck it, I'm not doing that. I am not purchasing a game for I am not purchasing a game that has a battle pass. I'll get a free-to-play game that has a battle pass. I'm not going to purchase a game that has a battle pass. You know what I mean? It's not for me. And so again, I've gone through that a bunch of times. And it's similar to the Epic Store launcher thing, you know, where it's like, is it really that big of a deal? Well, no, but there's 5,000 other games for me to play, you know, that it's like when I remember that, it's like, nah, never mind. I guess I don't, you know, yeah, I'd rather make a new Path of Exile 2 character rather than that. But yeah, and today I want to play Vampire Crawlers. But all right. Actually, you know what? Why don't we just why don't we bring that up while we're going here? So here's Vampire Crawlers. It's like Vampire Survivors, except it's a first person. It's one of these like grid map first person dungeon crawlers, but with Slay the Spire combat. I don't know. This looks awesome. I'm pretty excited about this. Shadow of the Erdtree I started, but I didn't finish it. Here's my issue with Shadow of the Erdtree now, is that if I want to play it, I wish I could restart it, but I can't, you know, because it's a DLC. So I can't like restart Shadow of the Erdtree on my current Elden Ring character. I would have to either continue it from where I left off, which I have no idea where I was or what I was doing, or I'd have to start over Elden Ring entirely, you know? Which I'll probably just do the latter. Honestly, I'm probably just going to do another playthrough of Elden Ring at some point and then and do Shadow of the Erdtree at that point. But the thing is, Elden Ring is already such a long game that that like I don't know if I even want a expansion to it, you know? Okay, hang on. Hang on a second. I forgot that I had this up. That didn't, I didn't dox anything, did I? No, okay, looks like we're fine. Hang on, I'm just purchasing vampire crawlers here. Okay. We're on the thank you for purchase. I thought that there was a button that was like install your game on the thank you for your purchase screen. I thought that there was like a install content button. Look, I've bought a lot of games on Steam before. Where the hell is the install game button? All right, whatever. I'll just go to my library. Boom. Install. 1 gig. All right, there we go. Okay, so that's going on. And yeah, thank you everybody for all the congrats. Oh, somebody asked the question came up a few times about like, am I gonna tell you guys what her name is? What our daughter's name is? I don't plan on it. Like, basically, my idea for my child is I want her to have agency over how anonymous she is on the internet. You know? Like I want her to be able to choose her level of internet anonymity. And so I'm probably just going to refer to her as my kid, my daughter, baby dash, whatever, right? However, what I'll tell you though is I do think it's extremely likely that at some point she's probably going to show up on stream and say her name. She will like I'm just imagining, you know, talkative little girls who like to just start spouting off information to people, you know? And yeah, Tilt, I do want to play Pragmata big time. I think I'm trying to get Mrs. Dash to play through it with me, but we do need to find a time where we can both sit down and play a game. Right now, though, usually at least one of us is busy at all times. They're trying to push digital ID requirements and age verifications? Sure. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying that, like, she won't be able to be anonymous because they're going to do digital ID? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that might be the case. Whatever. You know, if that happens, then so be it. But it's not going to be me, you know, saying her name. Yo, Essie, thank you for the congrats. Thank you. And yeah, that's about that. Unless I say it by accident, but I don't think I will. I'll just have you guys know. Here's what I will tell you guys, okay? I am gonna tell you guys just a couple things about her name to ease some worries, okay? First of all, it's not Tifa or Aeris. Her name is not Tifa, it's not Aeris, it's not Zelda. It's a very nice name, okay? It's not Yuffie. It's a very nice name that is also spelled normally, okay? That's what I'll tell you guys. It's a nice name, and we also didn't spell it weird. So she's not going to have any problems with it. All right. Tragedy. All right. Yeah, so that's about that. Oh, there is, okay. What do you guys want to see? I've got 2 ideas of what to do on the stream now that we've kind of talked about the baby. First of all, actually, how excited are we to see the baby? You know? Because that's that's going to be a question. I should ask Mrs. Dash, how peaceful is she right now? And then second thing that I wanted to say is I've got two ideas of oh, Mia's scratching at the door. Oh, okay. I'll go let the door open. And then we'll talk about what to do next on the stream. Cuz I've got two ideas. Be right back. All right, now here's what I'll tell you is okay. Sorry, I'm a voice projector. I don't want to yell at her. Here's what I'll tell you is she's about ready to be fed again, which means that she might be moody right now cuz she's probably starting to get hungry.
Yes.
Hang on, I'm fixing the camera at the moment. Oh, hey, let's get the swaddle a little bit off of her face here.
I'm doing it, Daddy!
There we go. Baby time. Oh, yeah, dude. Look at that cute ass baby. Yeah.
I'm doing it, Daddy!
And there you have it. We've oh, sorry. I gotta turn off streaming voice and turn on dad voice for if I'm holding her. So yeah, there we go. How about that? Okay. She's about ready to get fed, and we gotta get back to the show here. Future Dream Theater fan, also, I tell you. Okay. Woo! All right, all right. What's in that can? This one? I've been drinking orange Celsius lately as like a energy kind of thing. We had so yeah, another like point of stress during all of this, like, so we had baby and we had Magic being sick. Oh my gosh, I feel like I never said the rest of the Magic story. I went into baby and then I only talked about baby after that. So for those of you who were here when I was talking about how sick Magic was and having to feed him through his nose 5 times a day, yada yada, on top of all the other stuff. Yeah. So while we were it seemed like every day he was getting just a little bit better, it seemed like, but not that much. And I was really, really worried because it felt like he was never going to get all the way better, you know? Because it was like his incremental progress day by day was so little that it seemed like either he was gonna turn for the worse or he was just only gonna recover this much and then stay there, you know? It felt like. But while we were in the hospital, I had my parents taking care of him, you know? I had them go into the house to give him his feedings and all that kind of stuff. And one day, while they were taking care of him, they said they gave him a bath. Because one of his bathroom times, one of his litter box visits was a little messy. And so they gave him a bath. And after they gave him a bath, he was just perfectly like up and chipper after it. And went and started eating dry food on his own again. He started eating food on his own again, which is like that was the biggest thing of all of this time, you know, all of this time about of the treatment that we were giving him. My number one concern was, is he going to start eating food again? And because that's the thing. That was like the thing that was like, is he that's the turning point of he's getting better. You know what I mean? The going from I don't know if he's going to survive to, okay, I think he's actually getting better. The thing I needed to see was him eating food on his own again, by his own volition, going and eating food, and he started doing that again. And so after a few days of that, we got the feeding tube taken out of his nose, and he's just back to normal for the most part now. So yeah, Magic's back and at it. And so I've got a picture of him with the tube, and this cat is so nice, dude. So here he is while he was sick. And so there's the feeding tube that he had. This cat is so nice though, dude, that he didn't have to wear the cone. They gave him a cone because the the cats will fuck with this, you know. They're gonna pull the tube out, right? They're gonna mess with it. But Magic is such a nice, gentlemanly, well-behaved cat that he didn't even need to wear the cone. He just didn't mess with it. You know what's really funny about that though? So he didn't mess with it, so we didn't have the cone on him all the way until like the third day of him eating solid food on his own, which is the day that we're gonna take the tube out. The day that we were gonna take the tube out ourselves, he pulled it out. That was the day that he was like, you know what, fuck this thing, and he pulled it out of his nose himself. And then we just had to undo the sutures, you know, like it was sutured in right here, and then like back here, you know. And so the thing is, my mom was an ICU nurse for like 40 years, so she has like a suture kit, you know, like a suture scissors and a magnifying glass flashlight and all that kind of stuff. And so we were able to just get it off of him ourselves without having to take him back to the vet. And dude, our vet has been great. Like, here's the thing, I will tell you, right? Remember earlier when people asked me how much the baby cost, and I was like, I don't want to brag, but it's this. Magic's vet bill, I'll tell you, was over $2,000. Everything that we had to do with him. Because when we took him in, they needed to put fluids in him with an IV, and he needed to be at the vet for like a day and a half. He needed to be like in the vet for a day and a half, constant supervision, them feeding him, them with an IV in him, giving him fluids, right? Like all this stuff. And then on top of that, install the charge for giving him the tube, the charge for all the gear that we needed to help him. It was over $2,000, his treatment. But hey, he's still with us and he's happy again. So yeah, that's how that goes, and he's back to normal now as well. All right. There are two things that I want to get to as far as the stream goes. Let me ask you guys which you are more interested in. The first thing is there is Carl Jobst news. Carl Jobst is suing Billy Mitchell. Have you guys heard about this? So after Billy Mitchell won his lawsuit, you guys remember how many people need a 1 minute recap? Billy Mitchell sued Carl Jobst for defamation. Okay? Yeah. So that's the let's give that. The Donkey Kong guy, yes. So, oh man, we kind of have to start at the top here. All right. We're gonna, who are these people? Okay, I'll give you guys the cliff notes. Okay? Actually give me this. Okay. Carl Jobst versus Billy Mitchell, cliff notes. All right, here we go. So early on, Billy Mitchell was accused of using MAME on his Donkey Kong world record. Okay, so why is this important? This is important because what is MAME? MAME is a arcade emulator, and the specifically the leaderboard that we're talking about was for real hardware only. Real hardware only. And And so this was a really big deal. Very big deal that Billy Mitchell was accused of using emulator, because the thing is, if he used emulator, that could mean any number of things. A, it could mean that he used save states. B, it could mean that he tasked it. Right? It could mean any kind of thing. It could mean these things. He is not specifically being accused of any of those things, but that's what it could be. So why? So the solution to this is the fact that MAME just has a different leaderboard than Real Hardware does, and it requires a referee. If you submit to the MAME leaderboard, you are required to have a referee present during your run. Billy Mitchell didn't have a referee present, and his score was submitted to the Real Hardware board. But based on, in my opinion, very compelling evidence that based on very compelling evidence, he has been accused of that being MAME. Let me give you guys I'm going to give you guys a recommendation on YouTube. Look up Billy Mitchell Donkey Kong Veritas. Veritas. This video right here. Look, it's almost 4 hours long, but The Biggest Lie in Video Game History, the Billy Mitchell story by Veritas. This video is incredible. There is a reason that it is almost 4 hours long. It goes into all kinds of details about about exactly why the evidence is so compelling. Once again, very quickly, the evidence that points to him using MAME is the fact that the way that the levels draw in every time on his world record run, when you see the way that when you frame by frame the loading in of the levels, they do not load in the way that Arcade Hardware loads them in. They load in the way that MAME does. And this video goes into like exactly why that is, as far as like the position of the scan lines on the monitor versus the timing of when the VRAM is being updated. Goes very deep into that, but it also goes into like Billy Mitchell's other times of being dishonest about or maybe even just the media around him being dishonest about things, like when he did one particular live perfect Pac-Man performance, except it wasn't perfect and nobody said anything about that. Then it goes into like the event that it supposedly took place at, where he achieved the alleged world record, right? Like one of the record runs was done live at a convention. But like the people who ran the convention seem to remember him only playing for like 30 minutes or something. And like everybody else that was nobody at the convention remembers Billy playing. They just remember all of the hugs and handshakes after it was over, right? And that kind of stuff. Like there's all this stuff that this video goes over. It's very good. It's very interesting. Highly recommend this if you are interested in specifically the Billy Mitchell accusation. But we're not talking about that. We're going to get into what happened later. So, one person in particular, Benjamin Smith, aka Apollo Legend, made several videos covering Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell sues Apollo. They settle out of court. Now, here's the thing, is Okay, we're about to get into some shit. All right, we're about to get into where things turn very dark. And me putting the bullet points out here in the order that I am is part of what gets into the lawsuit, okay? Because the next bullet point, the next thing that happens in the timeline is Apollo Legend kills himself. However, in his suicide note, he never once mentions Billy Mitchell and cites personal physical health issues as his reason. Apollo in his final video, he made a video, and he put it on YouTube that got taken down because you're not allowed to put a suicide note on YouTube, but he did. He says that like he throws up multiple times a day, always, constantly, and he like can't live with his physical pain anymore, is kind of his thing. However, after this, Carl Jobst accuses Billy Mitchell of essentially being a murderer with regards to suing Apollo into suicide, basically, right? Like this is kind of essentially what happened. Carl Jobst, who is a friend of Apollo Legend, of course, in my opinion, very understandably, is insanely very mad, right? About like his friend just committed suicide after having been sued by Billy Mitchell. Specifically, Carl says that their settlement included a large sum of money, this is in quotes, being owed to Billy. This is extremely important. Carl specifically said that a large sum of money was part of the settlement. So next up, Billy sues Carl for defamation over being called a murderer, and also there was no money changing hands in the settlement. Boom. Glenn Frog Knight, thank you for subscribing. Everybody, everybody's following along here, right? The timeline is clear so far. All right, so now, how many years go by here? Like at least a couple, right? Years of litigation and trial happen between Carl and Billy. Carl's defense is that he did, like, essentially, this is my paraphrasing here. Carl's defense is that Billy has no good reputation to ruin, and so his statements about Billy could not have affected Billy in a meaningful way that would constitute defamation, right? Is it's very important that a friend of Carl was named as to blame in Apollo's suicide note. That's right. Yeah, you are right about that. Yes, Apollo also did specifically name, and I remember this, he named, maybe I just shouldn't even say who he named. You know what? I'm not gonna. He named 2 people specifically. I'm not even gonna bring it up because it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. So but I should say let's see. He did specifically name 2 other unrelated people. Okay. Now, what was I saying here? Oh, yeah. So this makes sense, right? Basically, we had all of these videos from Carl at this point now that were very entertaining and very true, that were all about Billy. Basically, Billy does not have a good reputation, right? In order for you to be able to claim defamation, you have to prove that you lost money, right? You have to prove that this financially impacted you, this defamation. And Carl is saying this had no monetary effect on Billy. Billy's a joke. Nobody takes Billy seriously. How could I have affected his bottom line when nobody cares about him in the first place? And that said, Billy makes we got to be careful here. In Dash's opinion, many silly errors that reinforce Carl's defense, right? Like basically Carl was cooking him. In my opinion, over these years, Carl was cooking him in these videos about just things Billy has done that are embarrassing, things that he said in the deposition or deposition. What do they call that? You know, things that are just things that make his case look really bad, I thought, right? However, after all of this, what happens? Billy wins the case against Carl. Yeah, he kept making videos while it was ongoing. Yes, and that's the thing. That's the thing, is that if you watch the judgment, right? Like they actually live streamed the end of the trial. The court did, and it seems like the judge doesn't like Carl. It seems like the judge really doesn't like Carl's attitude. Because Carl's attitude was very this lawsuit is a joke. Billy is a joke. Everything Billy, I'm paraphrasing my understanding of Carl's position here. Everything Billy says is a lie. He's constantly dishonest. The judge is going to see right through all of his little lies and manipulations. And I am going to win this case with flying colors, and make an example out of this guy, right? And it seems like in the judgment that the judge did not like that attitude from Carl. And yes, actually, I will add what Ilya said here also. Carl makes a retraction over the large sum of money. Did he also retract the murderer thing, or was it just the large sum of money? In a video, however, Billy's law team says it was not sufficient. And then Carl also removed the retraction even, didn't he? It was not sufficient, as in it was at the end of an unrelated video. Here's the thing. In my personal experience, I want to give an aside here and talk about my personal experience with this. I remember when Carl made this video about the settlement with Apollo Legend, and I remember when Carl said a large sum of money, what I thought in my head was, that's weird that he said something so vague. Carl is usually very specific and usually shows proof of things. It's very weird that he says this very vague thing. And so I just took it with a grain of salt, based entirely on the fact that it was vague. And then, personally, I did see the retraction, right? Like, they said that it was, oh, nobody was going to see it because it was at the end of an unrelated video. I saw it, and I was like, yep, that checks out. And there you go. So, like, I'm only one guy, but if you're taking samples, right? If we're polling Carl Jobst viewers about what happened, I would be like, yeah, I saw the retraction. And I didn't necessarily believe him when he said it in the first place because it didn't stand up to his usual standards of evidence. But anyway, that's just me. Okay. So now, anyway, Billy wins the case against Carl. Carl is ordered to pay a large sum of money to Billy. Quite a bit. Okay. I think that and okay. Wins the case against Carl. And now here's kind of a big thing, and this is why a lot of people have kind of turned on Carl lately. I think unfairly. I like Carl, and I think he makes great videos. I think that generally his investigations are very good, and his the evidence he presents is very good, right? All that kind of stuff. I think all this, right? I think Carl's great, and so I think it's a little bit unfair how people have been treating him recently. But here's why. This is the big reason why. Many people are surprised to hear that the defamation case was specifically about the murder accusation, as well as the settlement details with regards to Apollo Legend. Many people did not remember this and did not know that this was what it was about. Many people assumed that the defamation lawsuit was about this. Many people thought that Billy was mad that Carl was talking about MAME and was suing him about that, but it wasn't. He was suing him about this. And But Carl's defense was about Billy not having a reputation to destroy in the first place. And so that made everybody think that the case was about cheating in Donkey Kong. Again, because Carl's defense was to say, well, because Billy allegedly cheated at Donkey Kong, he's destroyed his own reputation. Nobody cares about him, so who cares about this other thing, right? Is my understanding of it. However, instead, though, Carl still got nailed for that. He got nailed for essentially calling Billy a murderer because of Apollo Legends suicide. Is kind of what happened. All right, we're caught up. So what is today's drama then? What are we going to talk about today? What is today's drama? Are you guys ready for the next drama? Carl Jobst sues Billy Mitchell for defamation. This is what we are getting into today. This is the new story. Now, there is not a video from Carl about it. There's not a video from Carl about it from what I saw. I should double check that actually. But there are a couple videos from some other folks, and so I want to I have not watched them yet. I haven't watched them yet. I was saving them for stream because I'm a drama YouTuber now. So let's see. If I go to Carl's. Okay, no, yeah, Carl did not make a video about this. So we've got a few videos that are about this, and so EMC, thank you. He shouldn't post about it. It would hurt his case. That might be exactly the case. Okay. I now need. I'm not sure if there's been updates on the SMB thing, Hobox. I need to run to the bathroom real quick, and the worst part of his situation is using viewer donations to pay for legal fees. I don't think Carl did anything wrong, honestly. I understand the reason that he got what's the word that I'm looking for? I understand the reason that the verdict was against him, but honestly, I think his defense was solid. I don't blame someone for being very mad and saying something regrettable after their friend commits suicide. Especially after he did retract it. The record was made clear, and I don't know. I personally, I don't think Carl did anything wrong, and I also don't think he was particularly misleading either. I will be right back though. I gotta run to the bathroom real quick, and then we're gonna get into a video that is about Carl Jobst's lawsuit against Billy. And the thing is, all of the videos that I see against it are anti-Carl. So we're gonna see how that goes. I'll be right back. Oh, okay, okay. All right, all right. So we've got a few videos that are about this. So if we just look up Carl Jobs sues Billy Mitchell on YouTube, we got one from Quinthio. Maybe we'll do that one. I want to hear your guys' opinion on who has the best video about this. We got one from Smash JT. Oof. Whenever I hear Smash JT, all I remember is that guy. Am I right about this? Wasn't Smash JT like super into the Amico, the Intellivision Amico? Oh, dude, I feel like he was. It was like Pat Contry versus Smash JT, and that's all I know. Oh, we got legal mindset. Wait, this is live. Okay, legal mindset is talking about it right now. Actually, I think he has a video about it, doesn't he? In general, Kira. Okay, I like Kira. We could do a video from him about it, right? Legal mindset usually has good stuff though. Let me see. Okay. What do you guys say? Kira or legal mindset? It was live 13 days ago. Oh, okay. I'm much more familiar with legal mindset's kind of presentation. So let's do this. All right, here we go.
Carl Jobst and Billy Mitchell are at it again in what
It's not Jobst, is it? It's Jobst, isn't it? I guess I don't know.
may be a hilarious lawsuit in Florida. We're going to cover that on the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, particularly Florida attorney, and this is a Fast Facts video, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. So, in case you don't know, Australian YouTuber Carl Jobst has been in a long-standing feud with one Billy Mitchell, the Donkey Kong King, also selling some hot sauce, Ricky's hot sauce. And now...
So here's the thing about Donkey Kong King, is that I do think that people generally think that. Like, it's funny because I think that it's been a long time since Billy has had world record, right? But people still think of him when you think of Donkey Kong, you think of Billy Mitchell. But I do kind of wonder, what is the actual Donkey Kong leaderboard? Let's see. DonkeyKongForum.net, Twin Galaxies. Like, let's kind of see what we got going on here. John McCurdy is number... Okay, so here we go. Donkey Kong Forum, Platform Arcade. Ooh, they do have MAME on the same board here, but maybe there's a referee as far as that goes. But yeah, so Billy Mitchell is not even top 10, it looks like. I wonder... Oh, you know what, though? He might be taken off of this because of the MAME thing. But let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this does not have Billy's 1 million score on it. Because it doesn't have his... Okay. So his Billy Mitchell's over 1 million scores were the ones that are the ones that are contested to be on MAME. And so those just aren't on here. That makes sense. Okay, what does Twin Galaxies have to say about it? I think he's been removed from this as well, right? It hasn't Billy Mitchell also been removed from this board. But all right, so Robbie Lakeman, cross-reference that. John McCurdy, hang on a second. What's the difference here? Verification, Twin Galaxies, SAP. Billy Mitchell is only on the archives. Oh yeah, that was part of the drama. Was that like Billy also sued Twin Galaxies and they settled, and it seemed like, I'm not sure if this is the case, but it seemed like part of the settlement was that they had to re-add him in the archives. Yeah. Like, even though he's not going to be on the active board, he is on the board again. Right. Anyway, my whole point though is that it is interesting that even though Billy Mitchell like isn't even close to top contenders on this game anymore, at least as far as I've seen, he is still like the guy as far as Donkey Kong goes. Okay, sorry I had to take 5 minutes for that point.
After they concluded a lawsuit in Australia, we're looking at a new defamation lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida.
That's one thing that I forgot to mention during my entire Cliff Notes is that, remember, Carl lives in Australia. So the entire lawsuit that we talked about, Billy Mitchell versus Carl Jobst, was in Australian court. But now, since it's Carl suing Billy, now we're in U.S. court.
As Billy Mitchell, Florida resident, so that is filed indeed in Florida. So let's get some background in our opening statements. In 2021, Mitchell sued Jobst in Australia for defamation over Jobst's 2021 videos related to Benjamin Smith's death and also some cheating allegations. Now, especially related to the comments on the death, Mitchell won 350,000 Australian dollars. You guys can convert that to US dollars, euros, yen, whatever you want. But he won. Mitchell won that case.
Yeah, so he says death and cheating here. I'm pretty sure the cheating stuff wasn't part of the trial. Was not part of Billy's case, if I remember right, but I might be wrong about that.
And Jobst did not actually appeal that, but instead chose to file for bankruptcy. There was also some asset management that he engaged in at the same time. Now, this new lawsuit arises from Mitchell's comments after the bankruptcy. So this is really a response to that bankruptcy and things that were said after the bankruptcy. Now, very important to this, and we're going to remind you throughout, is that Carl Jobst filed this as a pro se litigant, which means he does not have a lawyer, and it very much shows after I reviewed the exhibits and the document itself.
Okay, so this is just I'm not a legal guy. That's why we're watching a legal guy right now instead of me reading the lawsuit myself, okay? But from the very, very, very little that I know about law is that I don't know if I have ever heard of somebody successfully representing themselves in US court, right? Like, do you guys have the same feeling? Is that, like, at least in the United States, if you file yourself, if you're representing yourself, you are cooked out of the gate. So yeah, that's crazy. The only person in history to represent himself and do a good job was Ted Bundy. He lost though, but the judge complimented his ability. Huh. Did I see that Zeal got that new no slots world record? No. That's incredible, Max. I'm very excited to see that. But yeah, that's crazy. Now, I mean, I do kind of imagine that a part of what Carl is thinking might just be the fact that he just went through years and years of legal process and probably learned more than any of us know. I would bet, okay, unless one of you is a lawyer in chat right now, I would bet that Carl knows more about the legal procedure than any one of us, me or you, in chat right now. But I don't know. As far as I've ever heard, that's not enough. But we'll see where this goes.
And much of this looks like it might have been cooked up by ChatGPT. So let's go into what the argument.
Also, yes, this is also now U.S. law, not Australian. That's also correct. That's I meant to say that as well. Yo, Cornfed, thank you.
They've been cooked up by ChatGPT. So let's go into what the argument is, the background. So this is a federal court, so it's diverse.
Judge Judy. My brother got reached out to by Judge Judy about a small claims case that he had to go through. And it was like he was in a lawsuit with an ex-roommate of his that never paid him rent. And Judge Judy the company or the, whatever, the program contacted my brother to ask him about the case. I think they were scouting for a case to bring onto the TV show. But they said that his case was like, this is just an open shut boring case. There's nothing for Judge Judy to really get mad about here. So they didn't take it.
So let's go into what the argument is, the background. So this is a federal court, so it's diversity jurisdiction, as Jobst is an Australian citizen, and obviously Billy Mitchell, American, and Weston, Florida, so you're going to have a Florida citizen. So the federal courts have jurisdiction. Now, the claims focus on accusations of criminal conduct, fraud, illegal bankruptcy activities, scamming donors, which are mostly based on X posts and his YouTube videos, and that, once again, all pro se, all filed by himself, and just compiling these posts and exhibits, filing those all with the Florida court, including some of my own posts, which we'll get into a little bit later.
I wonder if people are going to say that Carl is doing this out of spite just to drain money out of Billy, and that could even be part of the reason that he would be filing without a lawyer. I'm not saying that that's what he's doing, right? But I wonder if that's going to be like what people say, because oh yeah, my brother won his case. Because he's not using the XLR cable on his mic here. What's this? Is it, he's got a 2-porter? What is this, like mini XLR and then this is regular or something? Okay, anyway. So, I like, if you're representing yourself, right, you don't have a lawyer, one of the reasons that you might do that would be because it is way, way, way cheaper. And and then it's gonna cost the other person money to defend themselves. Yeah. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but I wonder.
So what are the causes of action? What is he actually suing for? So he's suing for defamation per se. So statements, accusations of crime that he's saying are defamation per se. So
it's a Shure MV7 and has XLR and USB-C. I've got a Shure SM7DB. Oh yeah, it doesn't have ports on the back of it. It's because it's got an XLR port up here. Sorry, we're getting distracted.
Say, so statements, accusations of crime that he's saying are defamation per se. So if you make a criminal accusation against somebody, that's often defamation per se. Then he's got unauthorized appropriation.
I'm sorry, I really want to understand this, and so I need to hear him say what that means again. Defamation per se.
A little bit later. So what are the causes of action? What is he actually suing for? So he's suing for defamation per se. So statements, accusations of crime that he's saying are defamation per se. So if you make a criminal accusation against somebody, that's often defamation per se.
Okay.
And then he's got unauthorized appropriation of name or likeness. In Florida, that's common law right of publicity, as well as intentional infliction of emotional distress, or IIED. So we'll examine all of those kind of separately and put those together in our analysis. So looking at the arguments for defamation, there's really 5 counts that he puts in his complaint, Carl Jobst, related to that defamation. The first is criminal bankruptcy misconduct. So saying that, hey, those statements related to criminal bankruptcy misconduct, that is defamation. So saying, hey, he moved assets to his wife or did something shady, that's the first count. Then you've got accusations related to the 2022 GoFundMe, saying it's fraudulent. That's count 2. Count 3 being that those funds were then misappropriated from that GoFundMe. So that's count 3. Then you've got a deceptive taking of around $300K from one Marcus Notch person. And that's the 4th count. And the 5th count being overall criminal fraud of about $500,000 from.
So this is an interesting point to bring up. If you guys don't remember the first lawsuit, the Billy versus Carl lawsuit, the thing is, people were so, like, the general audience was so on Carl's side about it that even Notch, creator of Minecraft Notch, offered to pay Carl's legal fees. And I'm not sure how much he paid, if at all, or maybe he just donated to the GoFundMe or something. I'm not sure what actually came of this, but Notch was publicly offering Carl monetary support for the legal fees. And then also, I just want to say, like, just listing it out like this, I mean, I think if we're talking like fraudulent misappropriation of GoFundMe funds, I feel like if Carl can prove this, like that, I feel like that's something that's pretty black and white, isn't it? Like, he said that I stole this money, and here's my receipts for the fact that I didn't steal it, right? Which is, I mean, that seems pretty provable. Anyway, per se means you don't need to prove that the act is illegal because it's obviously illegal. Okay. Moist Critical donated the money and later acknowledged he had no idea the lawsuit was actually about those accusations. Gotcha. Here's the thing about that kind of angle also, about nobody knowing what the lawsuit was about, is that I feel like if anybody actually read the complaint, they would have known. You know what I mean? I guess nobody read Billy's lawsuit, right? Including all of the people that were covering it. Like, I guess I don't know who would have been covering it. Do you guys remember that other guy? Who was that other? Oh, he was a copyright guy. Who's the copyright guy that got really popular during Jim Sterling versus Digital Homicide? You guys know who I'm talking about? He was a copyright lawyer. His YouTube super popped off because he was covering that lawsuit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I'm trying to get at is the fact that I would have expected somebody like Legal Mindset, or someone like that, to have made a video like this where they actually read Billy's complaint and been like, oh, this is about Apollo Legend. But nobody did that, you know? There was even, the website perfectpacman.com, I think it is, did like a day-by-day write-up of what was happening in the trial, and Moist Critical was even covering that. And that website talked about, this is what the trial's about. And nobody paid attention to that. So I feel like the info was out there. The reason that it wasn't out there from Carl is because Carl was trying to defend from it, you know? Like, it makes sense that Carl's coverage of it wasn't like, hey, remember when I said that Billy murdered that guy? You know, like, it makes sense that Carl wasn't saying that because that's what he's defending against. So I find it very interesting that, like, we just didn't have this level of legal coverage about that case. So yeah, anyway, where are we now? Oh, I don't remember, but okay. Anyway, back to the argument here.
Dollars from his audience and donors. And so when you look, okay, what's the proof of this? Where is this? Well, a lot of this is exposed. So you see stuff like this that he just kind of copied over. And it's very interesting because it's all black and white, but
I think this is fine. Because, I mean, Carl's statements were said in a YouTube video, right? Hang on, I have to, let me bring this up here real quick. How many followers does Billy Mitchell have? Billy Mitchell on Twitter has, okay, not as many as I thought. He's got 23,000 followers. All right, okay. I thought he had more.
You can see the Billy Mitchell post there. Carl Jobst has engaged in serious illegal activity before and during this bankruptcy process. I may take him to court, right? So that's a comment that he
It also depends, though, on who retweeted this. How many followers did the people who retweeted this have?
made a while back. And then Billy Mitchell posting, Carl Jobst complained about one of my tweets to the bankruptcy officer. Imagine publicly attacking someone for 4 years just to privately whine like a crybaby. Jobst is serious contender for lolcow of the year. Even iDubbbz wouldn't have done this. And then had a post, wasted his life, the saddest albino of all time. So this is an actual exhibit. This is something that he felt, okay, this is defamatory, right? And then beyond that, he added into the exhibits actual comments and replies, which I thought was absolutely just mind-boggling to the complaint. So
I don't know why this is mind-boggling. Maybe he'll get into it, but I don't really see why that's confusing. Like, he's complaining about Billy's statements, and then here's screenshots of his statements. But is this not normal to do? But here we go. Yeah, I don't know anything about hot sauce. I've never tried it.
he's
Billy did go on a victory lap. Billy Mitchell has been like it has been kind of crazy how supportive of Billy people have been lately, I feel like.
mind-boggling to the complaint. So he's alleging
Okay, yeah. Comments from other people. Well, I don't know. So the thing about defamation is that you have to like prove damages, right? You have to be damaged reputationally, maybe or monetarily. And so showing that somebody is reading Billy's comment and then replying back in agreement, or that Billy has now convinced this person that Carl is a fraud. That's what Carl's saying here. I guess I don't see why this is so weird to put in, because it's like this is an example of Billy's influence on people damaging Carl's reputation with his statements.
damages against Mitchell for things that were replies and comments, not by Mitchell himself, but
Okay,
indeed
I got to hear what he's saying though, because this is my thoughts, but let's hear him explain it.
which I thought was absolutely just mind-boggling to the complaint. So he's alleging damages against Mitchell for things that were replies and comments, not by Mitchell himself, but indeed by people just responding to this. For example, David saying, if the bankruptcy court is willing to allow debtors
this
to
is
deprive their
the
creditors,
damage.
namely Billy, everyone will be doing that. Carl is a fraud. Ball Guy says, isn't that illegal? Once again, asking a question there. Gond Hovding says, that is bankruptcy fraud, Ellen.
I agree with that. This is a question. Technically, we all know that this guy has been convinced that Carl has done something illegal. But if we're in the court of law and you're presenting this to a judge, literally, this is a question. It doesn't have a question mark at the end, right? But grammatically, though, it's a question.
Once again, asking a question there. Gond Hovding says, that is bankruptcy fraud, LMAO. Charlie Carter said, this is clear and obvious fraud. Once again, very important to point out here, these are all comments by people other than Billy Mitchell, right? So yes, obviously someone's saying you're committing fraud. That could be defamation per se, because you're accusing someone of a crime. But that person right there is not Billy Mitchell. These responders are not Billy Mitchell, which is hilarious to me that Carl Jobst decided to include these as part of his exhibits.
Okay. So far, I'm not really convinced against him here. Okay, hang on. You think Carl did that because on the previous lawsuit, the judge held Carl responsible for the comments of his viewers on the videos? Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Like if the judge, when delivering the verdict against Carl, cited YouTube comments, yeah, sure. This is where per se comes into play. Financial damages don't need to be proven if the statements are inherently defamatory. Okay. Yo, too late. And that verdict was in Australia, though, yes. And this is in Florida now. Yes, there is a big difference between US and Florida, for sure. All right, well, let's move on.
So as an argument related to the defamation lawsuit, Florida's anti-slap is not the strongest. I say that as a Florida lawyer. There are other states with stronger anti-slap statutes that protect speech, protect free speech. The entire intent of these anti-slap statutes is to keep people being allowed to have open discourse on the internet. Florida's statute allows early dismissal if the statements involve public interest. So there could be an argument made this is about the gaming community. This is really a feud within the gaming community. So this is something that is really a public interest. Now, it is harder generally to dismiss specific criminal accusation. So if you say, hey, this person is a thief or this person is a murderer, right? That's a specific criminal accusation. That's harder. But he's got to pin those on Mitchell himself. He can't point to the comments and say, oh yeah, this person commented and therefore Mitchell is guilty of that. That's not how the law works in Florida or really anywhere, seriously. The other thing that Joe...
I mean, I really see it as like he's saying Billy made the defamatory statement and then here's just the proof that he has reach and it has harmed me. I don't know, but we'll keep going, but that's how I feel at the moment.
Has, which is a huge barrier, is to prove actual malice, as he's a public figure and so is Mitchell, right? They're both public figures, but the key here is he must prove Mitchell knew the statements were false or had a reckless disregard for the truth, and that's going to be a high barrier.
Okay, yeah. So here we go. This gets more interesting, yes. Like because Jobst is a public figure, he needs to prove that Billy is lying, and is intentionally lying, and not just that he's wrong. That said, though, I mean, if we flip that again, it's a different country. But like, did Billy have to prove that Carl knew that the settlement stuff was wrong and that the other thing was wrong? Maybe that wasn't, I don't know. Maybe there's some other difference between the cases that makes it not matter, you know? But I feel like, must prove that they knew that the statements were false. I guess reckless disregard would be what Carl got nailed for. But okay.
Did he have access to all the information? Did he have all the discovery? Did he have all the information? People can suspect fraud or suspect serious misgiving or suspect irregularities. That's one thing. That's totally permissible. But he's got to prove, Jobst has got to prove that Mitchell knew that everything was kosher and said it was illegal anyways. And that's a very hard barrier to pass.
So does he though? Okay, hang on. What was I just thinking? Oh shit, I lost it. I had a thought there, and then now I'm losing it. I might have to go back.
Misgiving or suspect irregularities. That's one thing. That's totally permissible. But he's got to prove.
Okay, hang on. Yeah. What I was gonna say is, okay, so it's permissible to have a discussion where you suspect something. Yeah, but that's different than saying Carl did illegal things, right? That's not a suspicion. That's an accusation. You know? Like, that's saying, I think Carl didn't handle this properly. I feel misled by Carl, right? These are statements that are like, these are statements that are a discussion and a suspicion, right? But saying Carl defrauded me is an accusation. I don't know.
Jobst has got to prove that Mitchell knew that everything was kosher and said it was illegal anyways, and that's a very hard barrier to pass. Then let's get into
the original case was in Australia.
Promotion. So he is butthurt. Jobst is very, very, very angry about.
Okay, so discount code. So Billy put his sauce on sale.
What the hell is going on here?
With discount code Carl Lost. I like Carl. Like I said, I like Carl. I'm a fan of his. I watch every one of his videos. I think he's great. Also, a lot of you guys are watching me because Carl covered one of my stories that was very favorable to me, and now people are here, and that's cool. But I'm sorry, Carl. This is funny. This is funny.
Use of the sauce discount codes. So introducing Ricky's world famous dragon sauce, hand signed by Australian two-time himself, King Billy. Only 256 bottles of the sauce are available. Discount codes Jobst, Carl Lost, and Carl Lopst are for 10% off. So this is really crazy to me. It's not even using his image or his name or his picture.
Well, it is using his name. Well, okay, it's not using Carl Jobst. And you know what?
Really
I
crazy
think
to me.
I think Billy did this very intentionally. None of these 3 discount codes say Carl Jobst. There's one that's only his last name, which does not belong exclusively to him. And then there are 2 that are only his first name, one of which being a parody on his last name. I think this was very intentional by Billy to avoid exactly this complaint, where he can't use his first and last name the same way. Now, that said, though, if you were if you're on Carl's side and you're trying to build a case, they are all within the same tweet. And so them being linked together is obviously reasonable by any person, right? Any reasonable person knows exactly that these are pointing at one specific person. But yeah, I kind of feel like I feel like it would be covered under like this is parody, right? Essentially. And it's funny.
Carl Lopst are for 10% off. So this is really crazy to me. It's not even using his image or his name or his picture. It's just a discount code. It's something that incidentally promotes that. So if you look at the Florida law, Florida's right of publicity is limited to direct promotion of products and services. So are you using that name or that image, or using Carl Jobst to directly promote this? Is his name slapped on his image, whatever else slapped on the bottle? Well, no, it's not. It's a discount code. So Mitchell has a strong argument that the hot sauce sales were just incidentally promoted by those promo codes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that the discount code argument is very weak.
Related commentary and back and forth, which is protected speech. This is just heckling, right? A discount code to literally troll you, to literally make fun of you. That is not going to be enough under the Florida law, right? If you look at Florida law, just using a discount code alone is not going to be some windfall for Carl Jobst. Sorry, that's not going to work. How about the next one? Oh, and before we get to that, we have Exhibit 43, where he's actually
now it's personal. All right. Now it's personal with Legal Mindset. His own tweet is in Carl's lawsuit. Oh, okay. Doing some research with an Australian lawyer colleague on Jobs versus Mitchell. We still need to collect more information, but at this point, it seems that while Jobs may not have violated Australian law At this point, it seems that while Jobst may not have violated Australian law in some ways, there is a huge opening that blank may be able to attack that could cripple Jobst's future income. Okay. Legal Mindset he's a oh right. He is specifically like a Florida lawyer. Practicing in East Asia or something. I don't know. He says something at the start that I don't remember exactly.
Saying that my tweet related to doing legal research was harming his income. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Legal Mindset here, harming his income by saying I was doing some research with an Australian lawyer colleague on Jobst versus Mitchell. We still need to collect more information, but at this point, it seems that while Jobst may not have violated Australian law in some ways, there's a huge opening that, and of course, that's Billy Mitchell, may be able to attack that could cripple Jobst's future income. Once again, real research by actual lawyers, not ChatGPT, not using AI, right? We were just looking into that and we came up with some possibilities. This is totally permissible. You're allowed to do legal research. That should not harm your income if lawyers doing legal research, my colleague being an Australian lawyer, doing some legal research is going to take
This guy looks like Hitler without the stash. I guess he's kind of got the haircut. Maybe a little bit.
Then you probably aren't doing something legal, or there's probably something wrong with you in your operations if people doing legal research is going to cripple you, right? That's absolutely hilarious. And of course, he included this in his court filings, which made me absolutely laugh. But one thing that will never hurt you, by the way, guys, is to get a cabbage plushie. You can look in the description
Are we?
below.
All right, we're getting toward the end here.
A cabbage plushie, which is available now.
I have some thoughts.
Also
I got some thoughts to say at the end.
And definitely do not hurt Carl Jobst's income. All right. Going on to IIED, intentional infliction of emotional distress. This is the weakest claim in Florida. In Florida, there's a very high bar for IIED. The standard in
It makes sense that you would put your best argument at the top, right? And then go down, right?
Florida is beyond all possible bounds of decency. So was what Mitchell did beyond all possible bounds of decency? No. In fact, mere insults, public criticism, or even online defamation rarely qualify in Florida as IIED, particularly for a mutual public feud.
Yeah, I
and
could see this.
Very important. Even if Jobst is able to prove
by I could see this, what I mean to say is I can see what Legal Mindset is saying here, that it's like he's just heckling him online, right? It's probably that's not beyond all reasonable behavior.
Defamation. That is not enough for IIED in Florida, particularly for online feuds. It's just not going to work in Florida. Maybe another state, maybe another country, but definitely not going to fly in Florida. So here's my judgment. Jobst has further opened up his finances, his life, everything to further scrutiny through this lawsuit. He's now going to have Billy Mitchell being able to pick through the documents, deposition, look at what happened. A lot more is going to be opened up for Billy Mitchell now that Jobst has decided to throw himself into another lawsuit after a crippling bankruptcy, and trying to make this happen as some sort of moonshot seems to me as trying to make up, like, for example, lost yards in a game. The other team just scored a touchdown and you're trying to run it back. It's a Hail Mary. It's kind of stupid, though, because it just subjects you to more cost, time, scrutiny, and that's going to be a lot on Jobst. And Jobst is unlikely to prevail on either the right of publicity or the intentional infliction of emotional distress claims. Those are just not going to work under Florida law. And one thing you can see here is, as a pro se litigant, he clearly does not have a Florida lawyer and was relying on ChatGPT, AI, whatever for his legal research, which is clearly deficient in this area.
That's what, yeah, I mean, like, I'm not an expert, but that part of it seems, doesn't sound great.
Now,
it doesn't sound favorable for Carl to not have a lawyer.
Possible that his defamation claims survive Florida's anti-SLAPP law. It's not as strong as other states. However, at further periods in the trial, such as summary judgment, for example, they could be completely blown out. I still think that even if he survives the anti-SLAPP from completely wiping out his lawsuit, he still is unlikely to prevail based on that weak evidence, based on relying on comments and relying on other people's remarks in his complaint and trying to point those to Billy. I don't think that's going to work out for him, and I think this is going to be another Jobst L. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will catch you on the next one.
So let's here. Let me send you guys that video real quick here. If we go like this, and then, oh wait, this is only on Twitch. Well, anyway, there is that link, and then I suppose we'll, how do I do this? If I do this, and then I go like this, and then like that, and then now I can give that to the YouTube chat also. There we go. There's that video. Give it a like if you liked it. From Legal Mindset. So what are my thoughts on this after we just saw all that? The thing is, Carl he already has like a really good video about what happened. I think it's this one, my final lawsuit update. I think it's this video. I thought that this was a really good final update, right? Like I thought that Carl's video that was about him having lost the trial and then now he's filing for bankruptcy. This is how it's going to affect him monetarily. This is how he thinks it's going to affect Billy monetarily, right? I thought that this was an excellent video from Carl, and it was really optimistic as well, you know? Like his video that was about his future finances, right? I thought was very optimistic. And I like, again, it was excellent. And I thought it was a really good ending to the saga that all of this was, you know? But so I'm really surprised now. I'm really surprised now to hear that it's come back. And I'm wondering what the reason is, you know? I don't think that we're going to well, I'm wondering what the reason is as far as like why Carl thinks it's completely necessary. And of course, we're probably not necessarily going to hear that kind of behind the scenes kind of talk because, of course, he wants to win the lawsuit, doesn't want to talk about all of that stuff to such great detail. So, like the thing is, I'm very surprised to hear it come back. And as far as the things that were mentioned in that video about what his complaint is and all that, I do think that it is wrong for Billy to be saying that Carl did illegal things, right? If he didn't, right? If Carl didn't do anything illegal, and like as far as Billy goes, shit talking, that's fine. Billy has taken a whole victory lap. He's gotten a lot more support lately. Like Billy is like clearly the Billy Carl scales had a major shift in the online public opinion, where people are a lot more favorable toward Billy and they're a lot less favorable to Carl now. And why am I saying this? Oh yeah, and like Billy has taken his whole victory lap and all that, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with something like the discount code or Billy just being an asshole or just gloating, right? But if Billy is making like legal accusations against Carl, then yeah, he shouldn't be doing that, you know? And whether or not it's so bad that Carl needs to file a lawsuit, I guess that's up to Carl. And I don't, because I don't know what Carl's finances are. I don't know how much it truly affects him day to day, and that kind of thing. If it is bad enough for the lawsuit, it sounds really bad that it does sound really bad that he doesn't have a lawyer though. And now the reason that he might not have a lawyer though is because, right, he is in the middle of bankruptcy right now, you know? The fact, like, so I could see it being that the thing is, in Australian court, let's get into this real quick. In Australian court, a big part of Carl's trial was the fact that when one party wins a court case, generally in Australia, the losing side needs to pay the legal fees. And that's not the case in the US, right? So I'm guessing that Carl's thoughts on this, maybe, right? This is just my guess, is that he can't afford a lawyer because even if he wins this case, he doesn't recuperate the losses unless he specifically sues also for the legal fees, right? Which is then even more litigation, even more lawyer fees, right? And that kind of stuff. Um, so yeah, I feel like that could be the case. Just that Carl is already already unable to like afford the lawsuit. So I don't know. My overall sum it up thoughts on it is that I don't think that Carl defrauded anybody. I don't think that he misappropriated GoFundMe funds or whatever. I think that if you're going to say that, you should have evidence. And so if Billy doesn't have evidence of that, then it is very wrong of him to say that. However, I also think that Carl's final update on the whole situation was very good and optimistic. And so it's sad for me to see it continue, to see the Billy versus Carl saga continue after it had what I thought was a really good ending. Yeah, but I mean, hey, we'll see. Now, I guess I understand now why though that like right now kind of the YouTube, at least the videos that I've seen on it have all been kind of anti-Carl. I'm thinking are just the fact that he filed without a lawyer, which is a very bad sign as far as your chances of success. It doesn't mean that what you're saying is bullshit. It means that you're going to have a very, very hard time navigating the lawsuit landscape, without a lawyer. And then also, with the legal mindset video, also it seemed like he wasn't convinced by the exact evidence that was being put forth, but I don't know. I understood it. I feel like I definitely understand if you're again. I feel like I've said this a million times, but again, if you are suing for defamation, to me, it makes sense to cite the responses to your tweets, right? If he's complaining about Billy Mitchell's statements, then it makes perfect sense to me to cite the replies to Billy's statements that are in support of Billy, or that are anti-Carl, more specifically, because that is directly showing the negative effects of Billy's statements. Boom, right there. So I don't know. But all right. That's about that. I'm glad I know about that. And I think it's time to move on to the next thing. Carl doesn't have any money. Billy doesn't have any money. What's the point of taking more legal actions? Yeah, we're gonna have to see how it goes, because one possibility is that there may be a settlement between the two that is more neutral or something. You know what I mean? Like it might turn out that even though Carl doesn't have a lawyer, Billy would rather settle early on than have to still fight it. And then perhaps the settlement between the two is, I don't know, is something that's more fair or something. Can't see Billy settling. I kind of feel the same way, because after Carl, wait a second. Wasn't it Carl that offered a settlement? Oh, of course it was, because Carl was the defendant. That was part of Carl's video about the wrap up. That he was saying that Carl offered a settlement that Billy rejected. So I guess I don't know exactly how this works, but because Carl is suing Billy, now isn't it up for Billy to offer settlement? I don't know exactly how it works. But all right. Anyway, that's one of the things that basically what I'm saying is one of the things that I could see is that a settlement could go in like any direction. That Billy offered a settlement that Carl rejected. Maybe both happened, but what I remember and this is from Carl, is him saying that Carl offered a settlement that was much less than what Billy wanted, and Billy declined it. Then Billy won the lawsuit, but because Carl is filing for bankruptcy, and because Carl, as a YouTuber, makes a lot less money than Billy thought that Carl made, Billy is going to end up getting less money than he would have gotten if he took the settlement. That was at least what Carl's reporting of the situation was, which is pretty interesting, you know? It's like, again, Cliff Notes, Billy rejected the settlement, won for more money, but is going to get less money than the settlement would have been for because the amount that he won is so devastating to Carl that he had to file for bankruptcy, and then the amount of his wages getting garnished is going to be less than what he would have had to pay from the settlement, it seems. So yeah. So again, I would really, if you're interested in what I am talking about right now, I would really recommend watching this video from Carl. You know, because it goes into that kind of stuff that I thought was very interesting. Okay. I would like to transition into the next part of the stream. Which is going to be this for just a little while, and then I got to get back to baby. But I want to check out this new game, Vampire Crawlers. Have you guys seen this game? Let's get into this in a minute. So I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick, and then we'll get into this. Oh yeah, by the way, all of my comments and all of chat's comments, they were all allegedly. Okay, Minin! Minin, what up, Minin? Thank you for the 74 months and for the tier 3.
Congratulations on the mini-me.
Hey, thank you very much. Okay, okay. Okay, so the game is actually called Vampire Crawlers: The Turbo Wild Card from Vampire Survivors. Okay, okay. All right, let's go. Let's check this new game out, yeah? Here we go. Whoa! And we're 3D. All right, all right. Well, no title screen, no options. You're just playing. I love that. Let's go. Okay, we got a bat. We got a knife. Crit. Oh, deal 40 damage and then crit. So it has a chance to do multiplied damage. Gotcha. Probably turning here. All right, all right. Knife. Boom. Got him. King Bible. Deal 40 damage with the chance to knock back. I don't get a tooltip about what knockback is. Maybe we will during the... Hang on, can I... Oh, yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. We got some pancakes. Relic. Combo stack. Play cards in ascending mana cost for a combo multiplier. Uh-huh. Okay, okay. So we do knife first. And then King Bible does more. All right, all right. And yeah, I haven't played a ton of games like this, but I have like Persona Q, well, actually, I played through Megami Tensei 1 and 2 and Shin Megami Tensei 1 and 2, which were first-person dungeon crawlers like this, so that's quite a bit, isn't it? All right, so I guess we kind of mindlessly just do knife then Bible, right? So yeah, we got Slay the Spire. Or we got Vampire Survivors meet Slay the Spire, eh? Okay, so I have 2 mana, so I can't actually do... I can't do 1-2. I gotta do 0-1. And then, now do I just end turn? Yeah, okay. So I took a little damage there. But yeah, I mean, I feel like this... Doing this, then this, has to be better. Oh, unless maybe the axes always do knockback or something. Whereas garlic, dude, garlic was the best. All right, spinach. So that costs 1. Oh. Okay, 3 mana, we now can do a 1-2-3 combo. Or a 0-1-2 combo, I mean. We can... Oh, and even here, we can knife them, then spinach to power up our axe. Got it, got it. New character. Okay. I think... We spinach first, then we do 0-1. Maybe that wasn't good. I took some damage there, but maybe it's actually fine. King Bible me. Oh, the Santa Water burns enemies after this turn, eh? Wait, why is that free? Is it going to remain free if I do this? Okay, nice. Nice, nice. All right. Hey, thank you for the congrats. Thank you, Krala, but the vampire's in another coffin. All right, looks like we finished the tutorial, perhaps. Yeah, all right, all right. So here we go, tracking our unlocks. Okay, okay. Oh yeah, it's one of these, baby. Look at all these. Okay, all right. And so then we got world map. So unlock settings, world map. Take me to the... Let's take a quick look at the settings here. Invert pan. Rotate map with player. I always like this off. I like north to be north on the map. Card reordering delay. All right, all of this is probably fine. Yeah, discard my changes. I think all this is fine. No. We'll confirm? Okay, there we go. Let's just go. Oh, I have no idea about Carl's personal affairs. Okay, so we got the village. Which is, okay, that's where we were just were. All right, Mad Forest, let's do it. All right. Okay, so there's things we gotta look for. We gotta, okay. We gotta smash the torches. And then, oh, now we're this guy. Okay, so, well, I mean, we get some armor. And we whip them. We definitely want something that costs 1 that we can combo into, I would say. But the wand prioritizing attackers sounds pretty good too. Okay, so yeah. So here we armor, then we can whip it. Followed up with the Bible. You love to see it. Except I actually want to go this way. Armor. Whip it.
Welcome.
Bible. We got chicken. I guess I didn't really need that yet, though. Here, I think, again, we spinach first. That way we can do our combo, and the combo is powered up, I think so. Martin, thank you for the 129 sex. Super chat, thank you. Okay, I'm thinking... I mean, I like this armor. I'll take another armor. I wonder, I guess I didn't check for whether you could, I didn't check for whether you could skip, and how much this is going to end up being like, Slay the Spire, where we're skipping, you know? And yeah, I hear you, Fish Eat Corn, I hear you. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I think we're looking pretty good here. Fighting all the dudes. Boss time. All right, let's go. What do we got here? Armor me. Antonio. Oh, shoot, I didn't see what crawler means. I should have read that. I should read a little bit more about what the stuff does. Let's see. So is this... So this is adding to my deck. Oh, and now it's... Oh, when you add something to your deck, it's immediately free. That's pretty interesting. Okay, and then what exactly does knockback do? Prevents an enemy from attacking next turn. Okay, so it knocked back one of them, and then the other 4 still... I see. So these two and these two are attacking this turn, and this one's not. I gotcha. So now we have enough armor. Okay, and then armor drops. So just, again, also just like Slay the Spire, your armor drops off every turn. So we got the knockback on him, so he didn't attack us. And then... let's see. So if I armor and then spinach, yes, then the spinach does more. So that's 20% damage now. I see, I see. So we want to Antonio. Oh, I didn't read what Crawler did again. And then spinach. All right. Oh, okay. So King Bible, the damage went up twice. Okay, I do like the idea of this prioritizes attackers. That sounds good. My only question so far is like, do I really want to be adding cards to my deck? I'd rather be upgrading my existing ones, but I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if you upgrade cards in your deck. But, alright. Relic. Unlocks the ability to add gems to cards, find gems in chests, or when leveling up. Okay, okay. And what do we got? Double damage. Or we can get 200 gold instead. Well, okay. Oh, here we go. All right. Well, I think it's got to go on the buy. All right. Very nice. So we're going to do kind of the usual turn here, except now the Bible does double damage. Yo, Takate, thank you for the congrats. All right, what do we got?
To your aid.
Antonio, whip him, Bible him. Things are still pretty simple at the moment, but we'll see. We'll see how complicated this gets. I hope this gets really complicated. I think we armor, then spinach for the 20% bonus, and then whip them. However, we did take some damage there. Let's armor, spinach, magic wand. Ooh, that only attacks one dude. It's gonna be whip. Oh, I should have spinached first. That's fine. Not punished. Okay, I feel like one habit that I'm gonna need, like one thing that's gonna be interesting during this, Coding Genesis, thank you. One thing that's gonna be interesting is like, how much do I look at the map versus how much do I look at the game window, you know? But alright, I think, okay, so what's Crawler? Deal 10% more damage when a red card is played. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
My strength is your shield.
So there's that. And then we can Mega Spinach. And then this does more damage now.
I say.
I don't like Magic Wand very much. It's probably going to be really good against bosses, though, maybe?
Yes.
Alright. Big glowing thing. Ah. Ooh. I wonder if that's always where you get your mana from. Because I think it was the same, like, type of thing last time that I got that from, you know? Alright, whip me. Bible me. And then, so this guy's isolated. Ooh. Alright, so that just powers us up for next turn, but for now we lose. Let's go.
Welcome.
I guess that's just a play 'em turn. Do I add another whip? Because nah. Look, I was saying I don't like the wand that much, but I'm actually gonna grab it. I forgot that you get it right away. All right. Hit me with this business. So yeah, I have been playing a lot of Slay the Spire lately also. Slay the Spire 2. Oh man, it's good. Okay, this is very good for us. Now, Crawler makes Magic Wand and Whip both do more damage. Get some money, get healed. Okay, and then like I've been saying, is there, I wonder if there's any punishment for like walking around a lot. And then Alvin, I see what you're saying, but I don't see it. What you're talking about with the glowing thing. Is the original game exactly like this? Are you asking about Vampire Survivors? Vampire Survivors is completely different. So Vampire Survivors, it's like a twin stick shooter, except you don't have the right stick. Everything is auto fire. That's like the gimmick of Vampire Survivors that I thought made it really interesting, is that you move around while hordes of enemies come at you, and you shoot the hordes of enemies while you collect power-ups. But the gimmick, and the thing that I really liked about it, is that you don't control your shots whatsoever. They all just have an automatic behavior to them. Like, for example, one weapon always shoots at the nearest enemy. One weapon always shoots in, like, a cross. One weapon is always in, like, a circle around you or something like that, right? And so you kind of build, like, a combination of weapons that you like. And then there's a bunch of depth to it as far as how things interact. It's really cool. All right. And yeah. Like, your aiming is all about your positioning. Exactly. All right. Get him.
Whip it.
Armor me. Let's whip. I think it's better to whip than wand, because the whip has a, like, if there's two guys that are attacking, what if the wand kills one attacker and then the whip doesn't knock the other one back? Instead, you want two chances for knockback, and then you attack the attacker who's remaining.
To your aid.
I guess the whip doesn't have knockback though, but still, what I said still makes perfect sense. Spinach first, then we can armor and then Bible. All right. We're on the boss. I think we go whip for big spinach, then the magic wand does mega damage. All right, we're just all about sequencing right now.
Yes.
Boom, big damage. I feel like the Bible is insane. Okay. Do I want another double damage? Yes, please. It's got to go on these magic wands. I want those to do more damage also. And then, all right. We got another one. Get that other magic wand gemmed up here. All right. Question mark here. What's this guy? Mash? Oh, okay. Sure. Get me another Bible, bro. All right, let's get him. It's gonna be...
You're welcome.
It's gonna be a wand into a Bible there. All right. Spinach first, then the wand powers up the Bible. Wand then Bible goes a little bit against my logic earlier of finishing with Wand, but the reason is because Wand powers up Bible. So this 30%, okay, the 30% doesn't go away. But now it'll go away because I attacked? No, the 30% must be for the combat. Okay. Gotcha, gotcha. The auto shooter is a wild concept. Yeah, I've heard it described as a bullet heaven. You've heard of a bullet hell. The auto shooter is like a bullet heaven. Because you're the one making the bullet hell for the enemies. Oh, there's just a play all button?
To your aid. Attack!
All right, what do we... The thing is, do I even want these? Give me that knife. The knife has the crit chance. I do like the crit chance on the knife. And yeah, I played quite a bit of the original.
Whip it! I say.
Oh shit, hang on a second. I have information here. Does the bot... Uh-oh. My bot might not be working for tips right now? Is that the case? Hang on, let me find out. I recently changed a bunch of stuff about how my bot does alerts. And I may have screwed up tips. But here it is. Orestes, thank you for the $20. Congrats on fatherhood. Here's something for 2 non-alcoholic beverages for the new parents. Hell yeah, dude. Oh yeah, I gotta tell you guys. We had a bunch of like, man, there's been a lot of little stressors on top of like new baby that's been making it a little bit harder with new baby, which is like Magic being sick was a big one, but then also we had ants in our kitchen. Baby Dash is a girl. We had a girl. We had ants in our kitchen, dude, and I was trying to figure out what they wanted, and it happened, right? Like, we thought, oh, maybe they wanted the formula that we were feeding Magic. Maybe they wanted this or that, right? And then when I moved the Keurig, I was like, I'm gonna look under the Keurig. And I grabbed the Keurig, and oh man, the number of ants that came crawling out of all of the cracks of that thing. So now, for the past couple days, I completely disassembled the Keurig and clean. First, we ran a bunch of vinegar through it, and then ran a bunch of water through it to clean out like the actual like coffee making innards. That didn't seem to have any ants in it. They wanted something in it. I think something got spilled on it or something that got into it, you know? And so I unscrewed it. I completely disassembled it and cleaned out the insides. But in the meantime of cleaning out the insides, you know, we also needed to let it not be sitting there for a while because the ants need to leave. You know what I mean? Like, here's the thing. Everybody's got their ideas of what to do about ants. Oh, get this spray, or put this trap down. Oh, this trap, it kills the whole colony, and like that kind of stuff. Nah. Here's the deal about ants, is all you gotta do for ants is you have to find what they want and get rid of it, right? And then they'll be gone. So once I figured out that it was the Keurig that they wanted, right? Well, then it was just simply a matter of get it out of there, and so now the ants are leaving, right? They're gone now. They're all gone now. We don't have a problem. But during that time that I was waiting for the ants to leave, we've been going to Starbucks. That's what I'm getting at, right? That's what I'm getting at, is that a couple times for morning coffee without the regular coffee maker, I'm gonna sequence it this way to get a better bonus for next turn. For all these reasons, we've gone to Starbucks for a couple days, and so I'm very happy to get the tip for further non-alcoholic beverages. Now that said, though, we do think that the baby might be responding to Mrs. Dash drinking coffee, though. So we think that we have to be careful about what Mrs. Dash is putting into her body that's ultimately getting to the baby, because she seemed to get a lot fussier
Strength is your shield.
and a lot less, like, it seemed like she was having a lot of trouble sleeping after she may have gotten some caffeinated milk. All right. How's the cost of Starbucks? I mean, compared to making your own coffee, it's really bad, but as a treat though, it's great. I mean, I really like Starbucks as a treat, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely not cost effective. It's one of those things where if you're asking, if you're concerned about the cost, then you probably shouldn't be having it. But for us, it's just a once-in-a-while treat. Wand him. Boom. See, now I got the double damage wands going on. So I'm not really sure what this 75 armor means. Okay, I think it means that he currently has 75 armor. And so, like, this whip, that didn't even damage him, because it did 14 damage against his armor. But now he's not armored.
Stronger.
So now we hit him with this, and it just does a... There were blue numbers, though. I'm guessing blue numbers means that it was blocked. You like Caribou more than Starbucks? So we have both. And you know what? I used to like Caribou more. But I started thinking that Caribou was too sweet. And so that leaves me with I have two conclusions with this. First, the conclusion was I think I actually like Starbucks more because Caribou is too sweet. But then I did realize, so I always get a mocha, right? As far as coffee goes, I like a mocha. And the thing is, normally I don't like dark chocolate. Normally I'm a milk chocolate or even a white chocolate kind of guy. But if I get a dark chocolate mocha, that fixes the too sweet problem. So really, I you know, Caribou probably is still better if I were to just you know, keep getting it with dark chocolate. All right, here we do one of those. And then, did I see Zeal's new world record? I did not, but I'm really excited to. One of these days, I'll find another chance to stream, and we will. I'll do that verification live on stream, because I know you guys love the live verifications, and a new no slots world record is the perfect time for that. Yeah.
To your aid. Whip it.
What's my streaming schedule going to be like? Non-existent. Not meaning that I won't stream, meaning I have no schedule. Sacrifice a card for a permanent stat boost. Ooh, I could just have armor apply always? Let's do that. And, let's see. Man, I feel like the whip sucks. Okay. We're looking. Things are looking pretty dire right now. But we can armor up in King Bible. Okay. As long as I'm getting Bibles and knives, I think we're fine. It's the whips that really suck. And I think I wonder what I need to do to make the whip good. You know. All right, big Bible. So now I take one? Yeah, okay.
Stronger. Yes.
Ooh, and Crawler even goes between battles, it looks like. So that's cool.
I say.
Definitely power up the double damage one here. Alright, leveling up. Choose a reward. Hey, what's this? Deal 45 to multiple enemies. Actually, Axe is like really good. Because Axe can combo off of my 1 manas. And I don't have something that does that yet. Okay, so now I'm thinking... I think we whip so that we power up the spinach, and then we do a mega powerful knife. Alright. Then, ooh, this isn't a combo, which is too bad. Alright, so we're taking a couple damage here. And then... But okay. The gem counter... Oh, that's the mana cost that I think you're referring to. But that is why I wanted the axe, is because it has a 2 mana cost, so I can combo into it. However, that doesn't seem to be happening yet. We need to get a 0, 1, 2 all on the same turn. Okay. Whip, spinach, wand. Ooh, I'm almost dead.
My strength is your shield.
Okay, no damage here, though.
Stop.
I wonder if it's not advisable to fight every enemy like I'm doing. Probably spinach first. Knife Bible. Oh yeah, I need HP badly. I need food badly. Sometimes you get it out of torches, but I'm not really seeing it. Oh, here's a torch. Okay, we just gotta fight. We just gotta get through these guys. Let's do... Yeah, knife, Bible. Alright, now what? We can Antonio, which crawlers... Oh yeah, that was a good one. Okay, and then this one. Perfect. Okay, now we just need this to have chicken in it. Oh, yeah. Okay, that wasn't a big heal, but it was something. It was not nothing. Have I played Rogue? I have played Rogue. Not very much, though. Oh, dang, this is a bad draw.
I say, farewell.
But I only take 1 damage. Okay. Also not a good draw, but the Bible is good. What do we want here? I feel like maybe I need another armor to make up for the armor that I got rid of. But I also do want to... I want to draw axe more often. And I keep forgetting that you get it right away. Alright, let's see if we can fight the boss like this. Oof, not good. Okay. Here we go. Knife. Big spinach. Big axe. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, okay. Looking good. Okay, this is a pretty bad draw. Okay, but we only take 1 damage. Alright. Ooh, big one. Big spinach. Big axe. Oh, but I'm going to take 8? Oofta. Okay, okay. Okay, he's coming in for 12, and I got no armor. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead to this. Unless it kills. Boom. Oh, dead. All right. All right. So how'd we do on our first run? Okay, I did get quite a few unlocks here. Let's go. Collect 2 mana orbs, so we unlocked Empty Tome. Okay, okay. So we were working on pretty limited unlocks, it looks like. That's the kind of thing about games like this, is that the odds are extremely against you in the first round because you don't have very many choices, you know? But now we've just unlocked a bunch of choices by doing what we did on that run. So now next run, we can find these new things that can make us more powerful, and then we can get further. So that's pretty fun. And that's what keeps you playing these games, you know? And now also we can purchase power-ups. So let's see. How much money do I have? 377. So we can increase crawlers duration. We can increase how much experience we get. Increase luck. Max health. So I actually, the only thing I can afford is either better crawlers or rerolls. We'll definitely buy the rerolls. Oh yeah, and then, okay, unlocks, we don't have to actually do anything here. And then what's crawlers? The Gorton Bell Inn. Relax with a pint of milk and ask mighty crawlers to join your party? Oh, okay. Ah, we've got another character. So he starts with 2 whips, an armor, and a spinach. And then the Antonio card is the crawlers. Okay, she starts with only this. But then she has a card that gives experience and gain 1 XP growth when a yellow card is played. Okay, okay. So, I mean, yeah, let's try the other character, shall we? So now not only do we have more unlocks, but we also are playing a new character. And we'll go to the new area. We're also in a new area. And see you later, Martin. All right. Connect and continue combos. Oh, a wild. Oh. That's big. That's big. There's wild cards. Attract orb. Draw a card? Okay. So armor, draw 2 cards. Little Clover then is wild. And that gets... Oh, yeah. All right. Now we got to get a Bible going, dude. Okay. Already feeling pretty good about this. We'll get,
Your aid.
we'll get some experience. That experience, you know what? We could probably use an armor. But then the attract orb. Okay, and now we can armor into Bible. And then we can armor and magic wand. Okay. Big coin bag. Get me a reroll. Increases area stat. Ooh. Okay. Or we can get double or adds armor. Oh. I mean, look, I'm a sucker for double damage on my Bible. Double damage my Bible because that was so good last time. And then we'll talk about... This was my favorite character in Survivors, by the way. Okay. So here, we got to go magic into Attract Orb. Then we play our wild into big armor, big Bible. We're getting it. I'm getting it. Ooh, okay. I mean, I don't think I need Empty Tome yet. So we're just going to double damage a magic wand for now. Okay. Armor, Bible, wand. Alright, then here we go. Armor, orb.
Powering up.
Okay, we did not get a wild card there. Yeah, dude, the attract orbs and the wilds are insane. So, attract orb. Yeah, we'll do this. Beautiful. Okay. What is this? Increase the number of cards dealt at the start of turn! Insane. Did I unlock that last run? Okay, boom.
Okay,
Attract orb. And then... we'll do one of these. Gain 3 max health. And then destroy, I'm guessing, is like exhaust from Slay the Spire. I wonder if it is permanent though. I gotta test this. I gotta test Hollow Heart. So now we've got 8 cards in our deck. Red, eh? What's this? Incomplete combination. Okay, well, so now we got 9 cards in our deck. Gotcha. And yo, Jen. Alright. Let's see what we got going here. Empty Tome me into an Attract Orb. And then, ooh. So now, we play this.
Channel 1 magic.
Which gets us 6 max health. And got us other stuff. Okay, and now we just armor up. Dude, I'm loving this 4 cards a turn now.
Smart.
So when you increase your max HP, I gotta grab another one of these. It doesn't give you the HP, which is kind of weird.
Yes.
All right, armor me up. Bible him. Hit that. Might as well. No reason not to play that, I feel.
It is done.
Okay, okay. All right, so now
Our power grows.
we can level up a little bit. Draw the attract orb, which also I think got us experience. Gain 1 EXP growth because I hit the yellow. Oh, okay, and then that killed. All right, awesome. Dude, I'm loving attract orb. We definitely want another one of those, I think. Okay, now I want to look at my deck. So yeah, okay. So the cards that destroy, I don't have anymore. Yes. So it's even more than exhaust. It's like a one-time use ever, which is pretty interesting. Evolve. Ooh. Oh. I feel like I gotta take this. Into Holy Wand. Okay, hang on. Holy Wand costs 2. Deals 160. And the costing 2 is really good. Okay, that's sick. So that kind of answers the question of like, how do we get into like the more power scaling, right? Because check this out now. We can magic, Bible. They didn't even survive for the Holy Wand. Hit me with Wand, Bible. All right, now we can armor, orb. Oh, but now I can't Holy Wand. All right, I'll just armor up.
Smart.
Okay.
It is done.
All right, here we're going armor into orb. Wand into Bible. Armor into orb.
Your aid.
Into this duplicator. Oh, okay. Fire 1 more projectile. All right, hit me with that. Yeah.
Perfection.
Okay. Have I played Dungeon Crawlers before this? Yes. And B44, thank you for the €2 super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, for Dungeon Crawlers, I've played Megami Tensei 1 and 2, as well as Shin Megami Tensei 1 and 2. Those are the first that come to mind. Okay, so now we've got Duplicator up. So if we do that wand that fires more projectiles. I think we go Duplicator and then powered up Holy Wand here. Oh, yeah. I did the SNES remake. Normally I do original versions of everything, but back then I didn't really know. And so, yeah, I played Kiyoyaku Megami Tensei, the Super Famicom version.
Powering up.
Okay, he's coming in for 4. Okay, we are protected. So now our duplicator is kind of insane. And now our duplicator is super insane, and this does incredible damage. All right. And B44, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the €10. Wish me the best for the new chapter in life. Hell yeah, dude. Speaking of, I'll be getting back to baby after this run. Let's take this hollow heart. I like these one-timers. All right. Come back when you have cards with gem slots or cash out. Oh, okay. Come back when you have cards with gem slots. Gotcha. All right. What are we doing here? I think it's going to be Duplicator Holy Wand. Then hit me with a armor into Attract Orb. Okay. Then hit me with this into this. Nice, we're protected. Ooh, okay, this is a big one. Wand, Duplicator, big ass Holy Wand. Oh, yeah, dude. I'm liking Duplicator a lot, but I kind of feel like I need more armor. Like we're not drawing enough zero costs. I'll pay more. I'm gonna take a Duplicator for now, and we'll see if that's true. So here, give me a Tractor, or give me. Yeah, actually, I want to see if I draw Hollow Heart, which I did, but I just want to play that. I should have checked if they were attacking, and if they were attacking. Shows breakable light sources on the minimap. Ooh, I love that. I am a big fan of things that just, like, kind of give you visibility on stuff like that. Oh, okay, so is this a destroy? It is a... okay, so wild, but it's a destroy. I see. So you almost want to save that for a boss or something, maybe. Insignified, thank you, thank you. Okay, I still don't have anything with the gem slot, though. I need to pick up something with the gem slot on it. I forgot about that. All right, now we can armor into Hollow Heart. And then, yeah, I'm not going to use this little clover yet. And now we'll go Duplicator Holy Wand. Yeah. Okay, perfect, perfect. Oh, bigger hand. Okay, let's go, let's go. I feel like I gotta just Attract Orb right away. I don't want to use this wild quite yet. There we go. Now we can hit this and hit this. And okay, we're protected. All right, they're coming in for 2. We can do this, Duplicator, Holy Wand. Big time. Okay, okay. Upgrades. Oh, we can just get a permanent luck upgrade? Or we can get permanent Duplicator. Give me permanent Duplicator. Man, maybe permanent luck was the way to go, though. All right, I'm gonna fight the boss right away while I have this this upgrade. So we're gonna go armor, Attract Orb into wild, magic wand, Duplicator. So that sets us up for the rest of the fight now. And then I guess if I do this, I might just get a 0 cost. Okay. So now, I think we're going armor, Attract Orb. Ooh, Holy Wand. Beautiful. I don't really want Axe because we have Holy Wand as our 2 cost. I'm thinking... maybe... I'm thinking I'm going to reroll these. And maybe take another magic wand to replace the one that I lost. And then we can try to evolve another one. Okay, okay. So hit me with armor. Attract orb. Then we can armor duplicator. Excellent, excellent. Oh, these are gems. Okay, okay. Amount? Well, now I've put a gem into my card already. And that was okay. Now I need another card with a gem on it. But I mean, we have the ultimate attack on this run, or on this. Okay, let's go you. I like golden armor. Let's do that into Bible. Into Little Clover, into Attract Orb.
Perfection.
Okay, okay. That was quite a turn. All right. They're coming in for 2. We already have that taken care of.
Yes. It is done.
They're coming in for 3, but we have the ultimate attack here. So magic wand. Oh, and then we didn't even need to do it. All right. Well, I guess I can't. I guess I can't use this, so we just cash this out then. And I'm happy with that. That gives us more upgrades later. And Ninja Cocktail. Thank you. Thank you. All right. All right. Another Clover. Coming in for 4. Do one of those, then one of those, then one of those. All right, perfect. Yeah, so this game, I feel like the fun factor of it really is the oh, okay, we need a gem slot. Is the sequencing, the per turn sequencing. You know, this whole like thing of if I play this first, then a 1 cost, and then a 2 cost, and they combo. That's very fun. All right, now I'm going to take the permanent luck upgrade.
Channel my magic.
Let's hit that into the attract orb. Hit this into the duplicator.
Yes.
And then get him. Ooh, we're working with 4 mana now. Hell yeah. Okay, okay. That's big. So now we can go like magic wand into attract orb. Use coin bag to then go magic wand. Oh, I'll take a hollow heart. And then I'll play it right now for the big bonus. And then they're not coming in for anything. So we'll just duplicate and be good. Okay, so now we're talking do the big attack. Man, I've been getting a pain in my right wrist today that I'm not very happy about. I feel like it's right where I had that. It's like right where I had that surgery. It's a different kind of pain. This is like an actual like pain. So yeah, I'll have to look into that because it's happening a lot today.
Our power grows. Perfection.
All right, here I think we want to do Magic Wand Duplicator into Magic Wand King Bible. Armor off that damage. Then
Powering up.
give him the big attack. So I gotta find another empty tome, I feel like, to evolve another one of my magic wands. Because that is, that's very good when we find that. So, magic wand, and see you later, Chris. Into a tract orb. Then we can armor into a tract orb. Into holy wand. There it is. And then I'll say, hit me with another magic wand. All right, one more level, and that's another unlock for us. Nice, a little bit of healing, because I've been raising my max HP a lot, but I have not been, I've not been healing it. Ooh, this is perfect. Okay. So we're going to go Duplicator, Holy Wand for big damage. All right. Then armor, Attract Orb. We can wild this into this, which gives us a ton of experience points. Yeah, there's level 15. I think I take another Attract Orb here.
Smart. Made you look.
Alright, alright. Armor. Bible.
Yes. Okay, I helped.
Alright. Here we got the kind of the big combo. I think we use Attract Orb instead of Bible here. And there it is. All right. Choose a gem. I don't think I can. Oh, I do. Okay. I do have a card that that has a gem slot on it. All right, so once again, we're just going to cash out that that chest. And let's get going and see you later, Chris. All right. Let's get that free experience into Attract Orb. Let's wand them into Attract Orb. I'm going to have enough armor, so I don't need to combo into golden armor here. But I guess I'm going to anyway. Alright. Magic Wand Duplicator. Holy Wand will for sure finish him. Okay, okay. Hollow Heart. Keep giving me those max HP ups. Even though I need something to actually heal me with, you know? But like, here we go. Boom. Big max HP upgrade. And then, now what am I doing? Ooh, good draw there. Okay. All right, they're coming in for 2. What's this? They're coming in for 5. All right, hit me with one of these. Attract orb. Oh, yeah. Oh, these guys do damage to me when I kill them. Okay. So we got to go armor into... I see, I see. So I want to armor before I attack against these guys.
Channel my magic.
So we'll go you. Oh, I do like knife. I'll take a knife.
Yes.
Oh, you can just click. I've been dragging them up like Slay the Spire, but you can just click the cards.
Say.
All right, we'll do like this. Okay, he's coming in for 14. But we can do one of those on him. Okay, I lose a lot of HP here, though. Oh, boy. But now this one's going to be get him.
Okay, I help.
Get him. Get him. Okay, nice, nice. I'm enjoying it so far, Alvin. Here's what I'll tell you is I'm really... My initial reaction to this game is that this is like a perfect sequel. Because it's got a lot of the same concepts, a lot of the same, like, gameplay sort of feeling. Like, you look at this and you're like, oh yeah, this is a lot like Vampire Survivors. But it's a totally different genre, totally different game. You know what I mean? Which I think is cool. Alright, we gotta start armoring up cards, right? Or wait, what if I... I really like card draw, actually. What's my thoughts on the controller swap controversy? I think it's ridiculous to care whether someone swaps controllers in the middle of a speedrun. I don't understand. Well, I do understand why someone would be against it. It's because they're... It seems like they... It seems like a Verge just isn't good at it, and like tried it, wasn't immediately good at it, and so then wanted it banned. What I think is actually kind of fucked is the debounce thing. I think anybody using like debounce that's configured to 16 milliseconds, I think that's fucked. Why change controllers? One runner in particular thought that it generally played on keyboard, but he thought that one particular room was easier to do on controller. So he would switch to a controller for that room and then switch back to keyboard for the rest of the run, which I think is totally fine. I don't understand how anyone could be against that. But yeah, in researching it though, I found out that apparently they're configuring their debounce on their keyboards to match the game's frame rate, so they can do a 1 millisecond input and that'll translate to a 1 frame input. I think that's fucked, and I can't believe that that's allowed. But yeah, but that's allowed though. Alright, we do one of these into a duplicator so that then we can do one of these into a Bible. Okay, okay. I might want another Bible. So that then we can do one of these into a Bible. I'm not wasting my my little clover here. We're just gonna end turn there. Yeah, I haven't seen any healed cards, Aaron. I don't know if I've unlocked them yet, you know? Is basically how I'm
Your power grows.
assuming it is right now. But all right, all right. Oh, I don't have any zero costs here. Okay, that's a little rough. I guess I'll do one of these. There we go. So now we've got a zero cost into a Bible.
Smart.
Okay, zero cost into a Bible. They're coming in for 6 still. Uh-oh. Okay, okay. But here we go. This is a good one. We knife, duplicator, holy wand. That's what I'm talking about. And tunes, thank you, thank you. All right, boom, boom. I think I might have missed a comment of yours, KP. They would take the D-pad off and put tape under it to... Oh, I think you're... Actually, no, you're responding to someone else. It's a normal controller with just a setting that was enabled in-game or something. The thing that I'm complaining about is that they play on keyboard, and keyboards have a property called debounce that like a regular NES doesn't do. But when a computer takes in a keyboard input, it does something called debounce, where because the mechanical key switch like vibrates as it goes down, that technically causes multiple rapid inputs to happen every time that you press a key. And so keyboards have debounce, which is where the first time that it sees a connection, it essentially automatically holds that connection or that key press for just a few milliseconds to buffer out that vibration or bouncing time and make it so that the computer only sees one input. Now, where I think it becomes a problem is where people are apparently they're able to manually configure what that debounce time is. And so what that then allows you to do is set it to 16 milliseconds, which is about exactly a frame of Super Mario Bros. And then that makes it so that, here's the thing, if you flick a key really, really fast, boom, just a tiny little flick across a key, you might press the key for only 1 millisecond, but the thing is that the emulator or the NES only looks for your inputs, it only checks your inputs every 16 milliseconds. So you can very, very often press a key so fast that you press it and release it before the NES pulls your controller, thus no input is registered. So in my opinion, part of the skill of executing a one-frame input is to hold the button for 1 frame, because that way you always hit that polling period. And but the problem with debounce is that they're configuring it so that they can hit a 1 millisecond press, and the debounce automatically holds it for exactly 1 frame. And in my opinion, I think that seems like a macro. I think it seems like cheating to be able to do that. Now, to argue with myself, though, there are a couple problems with arguing against it, which is, A, how difficult is it to regulate, you know? It might be something that's just impossible to... it might be something that's just impossible to know if people are doing. And so you just can't reasonably protect from it.
Channel my magic.
Right? Like, you can't force everybody. Hang on. Sorry, now I'm trying not to sit here and talk and not play, you know? Yeah, it's like a thing with keyboards, you know? The debounce is on the controller. It is. And well, it's on keyboards. Debounce is on keyboards specifically, usually. And apparently some keyboards allow you to manually configure it. All right, what are we doing here? Ooh, yeah, permanent, always 2 armor. I like that a lot. Because I'm having a trouble with healing, I would like to have permanent armor. So hit me with this, and then do a mega holy wand. That's always very good. Then knife them, duplicate them. All right, they're coming in for 5. So hit me with one of these into some card draw, into another holy wand. All right. Beautiful. Stone Mask gain 10% more coins. Okay, here we go. Boss time. We're gonna go Magic Wand, Attract Orb, Big Holy Wand. Ooh, what? Oh, Santa Water. Are we willing to go up to 3? I think we are. Get him. That might kill the run, though, me taking that. Okay, now let's cash in this wild. Hit him with one of these. Hit him with one of these. So now we have, like, insane duplicator. So now we can take this. Take, I gotta take a Tract Orb on this one. Okay, and then we can wild. Magic Wand. I should have wilded into armor. But, boom, there we go. Big damage.
Smart.
Okay, he's coming in. Oh, I think the knockback worked. So he's coming in for 10 now. I just realized I have no way of comboing into this. Unless I get more Empty Tome. Okay, so this draws me a card. And then we Bible. Alright, then we knife. Oh, there we go. Yes, man. And Common Cat, thank you, thank you. Returns to hand after play. Oh, we can evolve the Santa Water, though. Deals spicy damage. I mean, I love evolutions. Let's do it. Okay, so now my goal is we need to get more mana. We need to get more Empty Tomes. Look at this, though. It just does 252 if I was just to play this. I don't know if that's good enough for me. I don't think that's as good as going like Knife, Bible. Oh, yeah. See, that is better. And then I do love these Hollow Hearts, but I don't have any healing, so they don't really actually do anything for me. What if I take this, I put this Might on this King Bible. Boom.
Made you look.
And then we'll just play the rest of our turn out. Okay, here I think we're having to duplicate Armor Bible.
Okay.
Knife Mask. Give me some armor. Yeah, this water is kind of useless. I'm playing it just to see how good it is. Well, I mean, it did pretty well there. It doesn't feel good to not have it combo, you know? like here we can go armor, duplicator, big wand, right?
Channel my magic. Power in up.
Okay. Knife, Bible. We've only got 2 left.
Perfection.
Play them all. I guess that's what the play all button is for, huh?
Yes.
All right. You're getting blasted. All right, what's this going to be? Man. Should we just take the permanent duplicator, or should we take no, I love permanent armor. Again, I like I said earlier, I don't have any healing, which makes me think that I should go harder into armor. Let's take knife because it draws a card. That got me a tracked orb. That gets me holy wand. Awesome. And then now I kind of need. I guess I'll take axe. What am I on right now, though? I just played a twofer. Okay, yeah. So now we can go knife, Bible, axe, play all. And yo, Blink, how's it going? All right, they're coming in for 11. Wand me, attract orb me. Then we can wand duplicator so that then we can armor Bible. Okay, okay. Let's go. I'm just going to hit this on this one and see how it does. It did pretty well. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick, though. This run needs a break. Okay, and yo, DBZ. Oh yeah, DBZ. So I followed up with you about that Between the Bear and Me album. The other thing about it that I forgot to mention was that I was complaining about how I usually don't like their vocals, But I thought the vocals were really good in the new album also.
Our power grows.
Like they were a lot more dynamic, you know? Okay, we only have one. So I think we do this. Alright, they're coming in for 2. So, oh, we don't have to worry about anything. We just maximize damage on this round. So duplicate me, wand me, knife, Bible, play all. Get me another duplicator, I suppose. I hope the other option wasn't armor. I want more. I want more armor cards now. Okay, excellent, excellent. All right, what are we doing here?
Okay, I helped.
Give him the axe, and we're good on damage on this round. So here we'll do this, and then we can give him. I mean, as long as my damage output continues to kill the front row every round, then we don't need to worry about armor too much.
Yes.
Oh. And yo, real magic conch. Alright, so hit him. Oh, yeah. Like, if we're drawing Holy Wand, like, if my deck is thin enough to where we're, like, attract orbing into Holy Wand every round, that's really good. Which one of these? I'll take another wand. Oh, I keep forgetting to re-roll for armor, though. But okay, this is looking good. We can wand into Bible, into axe. Oh, shoot, though. Oh, okay, nope, never mind. I was gonna say they got me, but they did not. Alright, this one's gonna be knife. Duplicator, holy. Oh, yeah.
It is done.
Power me up. Alright, they're coming in for 6. So we're gonna go. Get him with the Bible. Okay, now we're covered, so it's only about damage. And yo, Tina, thank you for the congrats. Yeah, I'm just waiting for this run to be done so I can get back to baby.
Channel my magic. Yes.
Hit him with one of those. They're coming in for 10 though. So actually, okay, there we go. We took care of them. Nice, nice. Coming in for 6 this round. Oh yeah, so we can do one of these, one of these, one of these. Is there a reason for me to? Yes, there is. That just powers me up for next round. Since I have damage covered, and then power me up big time. Okay, here we go. I want Empty Tome because Empty Tome allows me to combo into water. But for this round, we just go. All right, all right. Boss time, baby. All right, let's do it. So it's got to be knife,
Okay,
duplicator, and then we can go empty orb into attract orb. Oh, geez. They're coming in for 12, and I don't have much going here. So I think I have to use my wild so that we can add 8 armor with this. And now we only take 1. Okay, so now it's got to be wand, attract orb, holy wand. So that's looking good. Then we can get this powered up duplicator going. And then don't bother using the wand here. Or the clover, I mean.
To your aid.
Let's go with this.
I say.
Into this. Into holy wand. Alright, and once again. Well, yeah. Don't use the wild. Okay, and now here we go. Tome. Attract orb.
I say. Perfection.
This was just a bunch of 0-1s. And yo, Dong Disciple. Alright, hey, I did enough. I did enough 1-0 combos on that one. And now I can evolve another magic wand, which I'm into. I like that a lot. Even though now I need to find another empty... Oh! Well, there it is. I guess the Reaper exists in this game too. I wonder if it's time-based. But I'm not sure. Man, we got a lot of unlocks on that one. But yeah, that was a good run. How about that? The achievements are still popping off, dude. So yeah, turning Vampire Survivors into a dungeon crawling deck builder, I feel like is the best idea I've ever heard in my life. I think this is awesome for a sequel. So what are relics? This is new. Find the Stardust Anvil. Oh, okay. So Gemhammer unlocks the ability to add gems. Oh, right. These are like these things. Wow, you can turn these off? Like you can turn combo stacking off, huh? That's really interesting. And then now I've got a lot more money to do power-ups with. Like I would love to get some permanent armor. That's an expensive one too. Ooh, heal 1 HP after each encounter? Oh yeah. I think this is like the #1 thing that I need, is just get me a little bit of HP recovery. Get me a little bit of armor. And then I can just barely not afford a second HP recovery. That's fine. There we go. So just 1 HP recovery per encounter. I think that's going to do gangbusters for me. And then, right, there's all the unlocks, you know, whatever. Oh, and crawlers, of course. That means my what characters? Okay. And so for another Hundi... Oh, now she starts with more stuff? This doesn't seem to say their whole deck, I don't think. But let's see. Add 10 area... Increase hand by 1 when a purple card is played. I don't know if I've even seen purple cards. But all right, we'll buy the new character. You know, you want to have the new characters unlocked, right? Okay, and now it tells you. Oh, okay, Tome is a purple. So, all right. So then she's our next character to try out. Okay. How about that? Can I get back to the? Does this game even have a main menu? All right, because now we're on the world map. And yeah, the evolutions that I saw so far seem to be the same, which I like as well. But all right, man. How do I guess it would be in settings. Is this where I exit to menu? There we go. Ah, and here it is. We didn't even see this before because it just put us straight into the game. But all right, that's Vampire Crawlers, and that's going to be the stream from me for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. It was great to come back and do a little stream after all the craziness that's happened lately between Sick Cat and Baby being born. You know, it's been oh, you're all good, Dung Disciple. Yeah, it's been a crazy couple weeks, and it's gonna stay crazy for the rest of my life, you know, with having a daughter now. So I'll fit streams in when I can, but there's no schedule, no promises. However, we did hear someone mentioned that oh, it's not okay, it's not submitted yet. Someone mentioned that Zeal got a new world record. I'm guessing on the main category. I'm not sure if it was no slots? It probably was. I think he's been grinding no slots. I heard that Zeal got the world record back on the most popular FF7 category. So I'm probably gonna need to do a FF7 verification stream here soon to get through some of these things, and then get that new record on there as well. But yeah, thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.